Hey Woodsy, how are you, mate? So I was just fucking around. How'd you go today? Jack? Hey Kerry Blaze, how are you, bro? Yeah, Jack texted me before. He's on his way to the hospital. He's struggling to breathe, mate. So, yeah, I was a bit worried about him. He said he might have pneumonia because his kids have got that real bad flu, I think, at the moment. Yeah. He reckons he was throwing up all day at work or something. Did you just catch the live with Pato the other day? How do you think that went? Just making a cuppa. Hey? It is hot in here. Hey Matt, Shane. Hey buddy. I seen you live. I missed a bit today. I was out and about doing stuff with my daughter and that, but yeah, I'm so hot in here. Look at this thing I've got. Yeah. I'm just making a couple, lads. Yeah. Yeah, so, what's the topic of today? How'd we all go? I missed Hooksagrams again, man. Because I'm not on the internet all the time on YouTube, because I've watched Foxtel and a few other things. And I still can't fucking get rid of this fucking head cold. You can probably hear my voice is a bit funny. But, yeah. No, it was good. Because with the live with Pato, he really wants to get to all the juicy stuff. But, like, I need to, like, get the viewers to understand the training you need to do and what you go through before you even get to that stuff. Because, like, he wants to start back in Iraq, but before that, I did like 2 years in mortars, firing mortar bombs. I mean, I did time in Bougainville with the Papua New Guineas and Bougainvillians, and I did time with oh, do you remember, guys? Do you remember NFBS? G'day, mate. How are you? Do you remember in 2002, for you guys that are old enough, CHOGM? It's called Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, where the Queen came across. And all the heads of Commonwealth come and met at Discovery Beach on the Sunshine Coast near Maroochydore and Coolum there. Because that was my first plains clothes job that I did. That was sort of sneaky peeky because we're trying to integrate with the Fed coppers and the intelligence, because you're going to be landing on the runway in Maroochydore. And so we had to hire the whole building out opposite the runway in Maroochydore, which is what we call the sugar shaker. It looks like a big sugar shaker that you see at breakfast restaurants. Yeah, so the coppers were trying to organise the intelligence and trying to offset anything that might be a scare or a harm to anyone parking up and looking with binoculars and that type of thing. And I was there to help integrate everything between the fireys, the armies, and the federal police. But that's when I learnt that the coppers had some pretty cool shit. Like, they had this device where you point it directly, like, we were probably fucking 10 stories high, right? And the highway was below us. And they go, watch this. And they were putting it onto the car, this device. It looked like a loud howl. I remember at school when you do sporting events, you yell through those fucking microphone things. Megaphone. Yeah, well, it looked like that. And he pointed at the car, and straight away we could hear it come up straight away, clear as the conversation they were having inside the car. So, and this was 2002, and then they're pointing it across the runway, because most of the time in Maroochydore back then, the plane would pull up and you walk off the runway to the carousel to get your shit. As people were, before this particular I think 2 months before they came, they had the planes park when you were debussing off the planes in a certain way that we could observe everybody that was walking down the stairs and getting off that plane. And that same device is standing at the exit of the plane, and you can hear the conversation people were having going down the stairs, like, I've got to ring mum, I hope they're not late, I hope there's enough cabs, as they're walking off this plane. But they were using it for intelligence and for security purposes. They're free to use it, but if they use it like, hey meow meow, how are you, bro? If they use it like, say they're doing surveillance on your house, and they're doing it through your bedroom, they can't do that because of invasion of privacy, and they need a special warrant, like same as hacking your phone and shit. But see, like I did all that stuff, and plus, what else did I do? Ba, 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 ba. Plus, I went to I went up into the Dampier Archipelago, and I was up there with Pilbara and Special Forces chasing, human smugglers and drug smugglers and bloody people that are stealing our fish or taking female crabs or whatever the case may be, because they're part of the merchant navy on this massive big oil liner. The big oil liners that are really, like 90 metres long. So we're cruising up into them, and they're all taking turns of coming into the Dampier Archipelago, where a mining company called Hammersley Iron is, and they're just getting iron ore straight out that mainly goes to China. So we sell most of our, we've got good grade iron ore, but somehow China turned it into cheap shit. No way. Hi Chris, hope you're well, mate. Yeah, man. A little bit of, you can hear my voice a bit funny. Just sort of run around, having dramas with my daughter and a few other things. So can't be where I wanted to be all the time, but I'm just walking around at the moment, something different, because I was feeling a bit fidgety. And Jack Dagger, guys, if you know Jack Dagger, I know you would, Shane, and Woodsy, yeah, he's on his way to the hospital now. He's having trouble to breathe because he's really sick. He might have pneumonia. And he said he was throwing up most of the day. So, yeah, we'll just be thinking about him and his family, because he's got his missus and 3 kids. So I hope he's all right. Hopefully they just get some hydration, some bags into him, and he should be good, bro, hopefully, because hydration can help. Have you guys ever heard of like running or sweating the flu out? Like, because we try to do that sort of in the army. When you get the flu or a cold, we'll just run you as hard as you can for 5Ks just physically, and by the end of it, usually you coughed it and snotted and got rid of all the shit in your head and your chest by the end of it, and you actually feel better, And plus, if you don't like inoculations, then you won't like the army, because inoculations are like before you go to a war zone, you walk down, like there's just nurses standing either side of it, like a line of 5 nurses, and you just rock up and they just go bang bang in each arm, and you're just getting, and then you have an inoculation record because of all this shit that we're going to be exposed to. But look, I never get sick though, you know what I mean? Like I had an anthrax injection and everything. Mate, your hair fell off your chin. What? Hi Chris, how you going, gent? Thomas? Shit, sorry guys. Hi Chris, hope you're well, mate. Yep. Fuck man, send my best to Jack, Chris. Yeah, I will. Hi Chris, going, mate. Thomas. Say Steve. Yeah, bro, the way to get rid of it. Your hair fell off your chin. I pulled over 7 times between Newcastle and Sydney so Jack Daggy could throw up. He was so sick, the poor cunt. There it is, straight up from Woodsy. Because Woodsy's trying to help Jack get some work, mate. Give him a leg up.
Did you go to work today?
He did go to work, but Woodsy's just saying he had to pull over 7 times for him to throw up.
Oh, you did today?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, it doesn't sound good. And I know his missus and kids, I think his missus has got that RVS or whatever it is, where it's like a long COVID, where you just fuck for 6 or 7 weeks. So I know his missus and kids are crook too. He rang me the other night and he was like, needed to have a chat. Yeah, so all our love goes to him, and if you're godly, all your prayers too, poor bugger. Yeah, so with that paddo, and we're going to try and do this every Tuesday, and because I've got stuff that happened, like I said, in mortars, the stuff I've got to do when I become a recruit instructor, fucking all the crazy stuff that I've done, all the bad stories that I got busted for, like doing a burnout in the high ace and having a fight with the military police and getting thrown in jail, and because the military has a court too. It's exactly the same as a fucking civilian court. You have a prosecutor, you have a defending officer, but the major or the officer at the front, he is the judge, jury and executioner. So he listens to the evidence, and then the prosecution gives him, like, I reckon he should have this punishment, and then the defence goes, well, I reckon he should have this, and then he goes away for 10 minutes. He discusses on it, and he pulls me back in, and then he'll go, right, this is what your punishment is. So you have and then you have a military jail that you go to as well, which you probably heard me talk about. Yeah. I think Jack said that the other night on Paddo's Live, we got up to 85 people or something in there. So that's good because I want to help him get his channel back up and running, you know, because he's trying to sell paintings and, you know, he's trying to hustle for his family. So he's monetized, whereas I don't want to be monetized. Don't have to worry about that shit, you know. So I'll never have that pressure of, fuck, I've got, you know what I mean? I've got to make another way of making an income. This is purely for me to inspire young men, tell my story. And as someone else said, it's just stories, but now it's on the internet, it's going to be recorded history. So, you know, but I know there'll be a few of my mates that could be calling me corny, you know, like, because a lot of dudes still don't like talking about their shit, which, I don't know, I'm trying to break the mould, you know. Yeah. Did you ever run into any mad American Special Forces guys? And if you did, who was the maddest? Well, I only really dealt with Navy SEALs. And this one time I was at a patrol base, Mirrorwise, up the Trora Valley, a long way away up in the valley, really bad area to be in. And we had a gym there, and we stood on half of a mountain because we had a vulnerability. There was a big creek in front, and there was lots of green area, so the village was right on the front doorstep of this patrol base. And the patrol base only has 80 people in there, you know, and about 70 Afghan National Army that were training up. So it can easily be overrun, right? So you got big gun pickets and stuff. Yeah, so while we were there one day, we had two guys that crawled over the top of the mountain range behind our fob and started taking pot shots into the gym and into our camp. It was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And these Navy SEALs, because they're very, like most Special Forces guys, are very humble, you know? Other than the way they rock in their beard and their hair, it's hard to tell who they are because they're very humble and they're very nice and they treat you with respect. Whereas Navy SEALs are like, get the fuck out of my way, I'm a Navy SEAL, you know, Navy SEALs, you know, they're very gung-ho. They're very go in, do a job, come back. So these two guys, they had Glocks, they had a pair of, what do you call it, like Steve Irwin type shorts, khaki shorts, and they had like Crocs on. And these guys chased these two dudes up this mountain, man, in fucking in these brown shorts, Crocs, with Glocks. You know, chasing these two Talibans up there, yelling and yee-hawing and got them like they were trophies. So, but with this, I've had lots to do with Australian Special Forces, but they're completely humble and professional. All this shit you're hearing about on Channel 9 and that about RS is bullshit. And you'll see on YouTube, I don't know how it happened, but there's a couple of videos. Of Special Forces soldiers killing an innocent man. They're like, should I kill him? Yeah, he should. You've got to always remember, just because he's innocent there, doesn't mean he hasn't killed or built IEDs in the past. And most of them have. Yeah, Jack's better soon. Hi, Woodsy and Jack. Hey, Chris Esperon, how you feeling, buddy, with your chest? You got to drop me an email too, bro. I haven't got one from you. There's Jack. Thanks, Steve. Hi, Chris Ebb. Hi, Chris. J-Matt, that's good to hear. Meow, meow. Yo, nice beard, man. First one I've ever grown. Dribble. Hey, Chris and Mel. Hey, Dribble 4x4, bros. Side to side. How you going, brah? Best wishes, Jack. Jackson Woods. Yo. Jackson Woods, that seems like an American lad. Yeah, so same goes, Chris. Yeah, so yeah, things out. How you going there, Jack? Are you in the emergency room now or are you in a bed? Must be hard too with the missus and kids because I know, like I said, they're crook as well. Poor buggers. Poor buggers. When you get kicked in the balls, you get kicked in the balls, eh? Yeah, so, you know, with this, you know, like the lives I'm doing with Palo, I'd really like to sit down one time for like 6 hours and just go from the day I joined, day by day, you know, like in a chronological order, you know, I suppose. Big love, Jack. Yeah, hey, Shane, I sent you an email or a text, I think, with Jack's number. You know, you did get, because I saw the receipt, you'd get it. So that's good. I'm just in here in my little room. Oh, just trying to see if there's anything I can do here to show you. I don't know how it's going to go, but give it a go, eh? Okay, that's our main base there. See that, Taran Cow? That's where the Australians' main base was. And as you can see, it's in the middle of Afghanistan. See, that's our province here, right in the middle. So the people from the south, where Brits were fighting, the Taliban come up, and from the north, from Kabul, they come down, and they all meet in here and have big punch-ons. And all our patrol bases are these dots that I've marked. Yeah, so just going through the comments, bro. Saw you live with Pato, enjoyed it. Yeah, sweet. Getting a bit of good feedback from it. Like, yeah. It's hard to explain, and I get nervous too. Like, before I get on, I don't know, for some reason, like now, my mouth gets dry, my tongue swells a little bit when I know people are going to be watching me when, you know, I've got no dramas with fucking public speaking. I don't know why. But, yeah. That's me as a recruit instructor. How's the boys in Dubai? That's me there. Our first day out of Afghan. Just chilling. I was going to show you one other thing that I'm proud of. I think I showed you this before. Oh, okay. It's not working. See this chest set? Oh, I'll get a better shot of it. I'll get a better shot of it. So, built like a tank. Who's that? Who's built like a tank? Hang on a second. I'm just going to bring this over to the table so you can see it. There you go. So you can see it's all handmade. You can see all the scratch marks, and that's like embossed. It comes out. So he's got that marble and he scratched it all away and leaves these on top. And as you can see, like the horse's ears aren't quite right. You know, so see if you put like them together, they're all bloody different. Yeah, so this is full marble, one of my most favourite things. I know people were asking about did I have anything else from over there? And I've got this rock too that I want to show you. This. Hang on a sec. Let me see here. Okay, so this rock here. It says, babe, this rock was in Taran Cow, I love you. It's like, what does that say? It says, I was doing this job anyway and I was digging in, and as I was digging in with a little excavator, it just popped up and landed right at my feet from a trench in Afghanistan. And it was shaped like a love heart. So I got it and I wrote it and sent it to Mel. So this is a rock from about 5 feet from a big fucking pit that I was building in Afghan. yeah, so uh, yeah, but I like it, Tank. G'day, Jason. You come across really well in Paddo's live. Sweet man. Understand I suffer social anxiety and can't really talk with anyone. I'm always there for you, Chris. I can understand that. I've had that. Yo, you big cunt, you big unit. 11-year-old riding in school. Hey, Jordan, how you going, brother? Woodsy, love that board. Hey, Jordan. Hey, look at Woodsy has a wrench. Love your work, mate. Hope you mates, oh, mates. Yeah, thanks, Alex. Jordan, how are you, mate? Chris, salute. Steve, what's good? Sorry if I missed it, but when did you get out of the military? January 2017. I joined up 10th of October 1995. Then I had a little break at 2000 up to around May because we had my daughter. And then I got back into training and then started cross-training and getting better skills 2001. And then from 2001, 2017, I was doing a completely other job. But just chilling, bro, eh, Steve? Yeah, so it's really good because Mel brings out, like, I've got all my passports and fucking everything, man. You want to see the passports that I got from travelling over there? But I'm just trying to show shit from over that I used on my
Ring box for the marble.
yeah. Hang on a second. Alright. What have we got here? Okay, bear with me. Okay, so this is what the kids, what I took over. So this is what I was looking at over there, and I keep this in my gear, and it's all the kids, see? So I take this everywhere with me. I'll show you something. Okay, so this is my first passport. So that was my military ID. And then you can see when I got out, January 2017. So that was my first passport that I filled. So I'm doing a lot of sneaky shit. Yeah, anyway, it's all the stuff I was doing on the Dodge. And then I had a diplomatic for Iraq. And then I had a second official just in case I needed one. So, but I saw Maddie just say, did I get anything dressed as what, sorry? Have you got any of you dressed as an insurgent to blend in while doing stakeout? No, I didn't do anything like that type of reconnaissance or intelligence gathering, mate. Normal. That's a special forces thing. Is Catherine okay? Didn't see her at Paddo's chat. Hey, did you talk to Catherine today, Mel? Huh? Didn't you mention her on Facebook at least once today? Do you want to just see if she's okay? People said that she hadn't heard from her. And Catherine's really active in the community, usually. What gear did they let you keep? You're not allowed to keep any of it. You're only allowed to keep the uniform you wore, the last uniform you wore, and the boots that you wore. And a slouch hat. But all your gear, you get... But, like, over 22 years, I got 7 of everything, you know what I mean? Like, I had so much stuff. I wish I kept it now, but I just gave it all to my mates, because I didn't want to... There's a few crims out here and that fucking I've befriended, and they're really into it. So I'm like, here, take this, take that, you know? No, I've really kept any of it, because I thought, fuck, that's the last thing I want to do, you know? G'day, Chris and Mel. Hey, Ozzy, how are you, mate? Haven't seen you. Did you catch the Paddo and myself live on Tuesday? Hey, Steve. I know Steve misses his Natasha. Bear with me. Oh, that photo of me, that's Sorry guys, I was just having a look so you didn't hear me. I didn't know what channel was streaming. I was probably at the pokies losing. What's that?
Just go do your shit, I'll try and find it.
Okay. Oh, hey, Dancer. G'day, lads. This looks like Russian or Ukrainian. Yeah, I was on mute. Sorry, I was banging through looking for some photos and I didn't want to fucking, hang on a second. Alright. Oh, Dancer. Gotta make you one too. There you go, Dancer. Oh, 20 people here, that's alright. You know, for not even telling anyone, I just decided at about 8 o'clock I'll just pop on. Yeah, so, and there's one other thing that I really love is this lapsuli. Lapis, we call it. I'll bring some in. Oh, it's fucking heavy, look. It's this big chunky blue shit here. You can only get it, yeah, I'll grab a piece. Oh, and that's another favourite thing I got made in Afghan too. The guy that built the chess set built this. So that gives you an idea. See where he went AFG for Afghan, that brown little circle? That's all the provinces in Afghan. So that's how many provinces built up, and that one where it says AFG was where the Australians were, right in the bloody middle. So I'm just going to show you this thing, because it's bloody awesome. Fucking heavy. Okay, so this is called lapsuli, or lapis. And you can see it's like a blue marble with like flakes of gold through it. And you can only get this in the mountains in Afghanistan. Isn't that beautiful? See the gold in it there? So I've got a bunch of that stuff too. Yeah, anyway, you get the point. Just ask what's happening. How to? Why to? G'day, mate. How are ya? Cheers, Chris. Just finished doing the dishes in Fuba after that and tea. A long time. Bloody oath, bro. And where's the uniform that I had kept? The jumpsuit that we used to put on the prisoners when we catched them over there.
That's back in the shit.
Can you grab that? And this is the other thing I grabbed off one of the guys, was his prayer mat. See? But it's... That's my wood pile. It's my front door mat. So that's another thing that I took from over there. Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing I got, which is pretty good, is when I get to the story about me in Iraq, I got a gold Chief of Defence Force commendation. And at the time, there was only about 43 people issued one of these in the Army, or the Defence Force wide. And I had no idea that I was receiving it. I'd done my work in Iraq, and then it was like the next year. Because these things have to be, when you're recommended for any type of award that's really prestigious, it goes through Parliament, and Parliament review your case and the evidence why somebody wants to select you for that particular medal or commendation, whether it be bravery or, whatever the case may be. Like for me, I single-handedly moved by myself into Iraq and single-handedly set up the Australian National Headquarters. The videos, everything, I set it all up. I organised all the dishes. I brought all the laptops up. I set it all up. I got the security. Then I went into the green zone and started setting up the security detachment. I was looking after the ambassador. And that was where we had our first vehicle-borne IED. And at Victory Palace was where the first time I saw a cement troll, the shit trucks that people that suck out of Portaloos and, they suck the shit out of, if you live off grid out of your septic. Well, they filled one of them full of explosives and detonated it at a checkpoint right at the start of Victory Palace. Yeah, and that was pretty bad. That's almost had a mushroom cloud. Just got to keep checking the fucking comments here, bro. Here we go. Well, I did. Okay, good to see you, Aussie chick. What countries surround Afghan? The countries that surround Afghan are Pakistan. Here, look right here. It is. Okay, Pakistan, China, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Iran, and that's it. So Pakistan, China, the other stans, and Iran. They're a landlocked, here, look, they're a landlocked country. See, I've got it there, see? And there's all those dots is all the places I've been and done special operations. So, that's see? And that's Diego Garcia. That's where the US military have 1 million B-52 bombers. That's a secret place. As you can see in the middle of the Indian Ocean. Yeah, so and that was where Bougainville is. For you guys that didn't know, that's Papua New Guinea. And that there is Bougainville. As you can see where Mel's drilled it out, that says Bougainville. And that was my first deployment, leaving the country. Thanks, Bob. Looks like my caps. Aussie cheeky, I know. So is Afghanistan landlocked hardcore? Yes, it is. Don't forget to hit the like. Wow, well done. When you walk under the fan, looks like it's about to hit your head. True. Sorry, mate. Tyler is a miner. Hit the like buttons, guys. It's not a secret place now. How's your recovery going, Chris? Are you back home? That's right. I asked him the same thing. If you guys do remember, I spoke about the young girl in one of my lives about how the toughest recruit that I ever had was a female called Rebecca Jones. You remember that story? Well, I might have a photo of her here after she's finished that. Oh, right, I do. Do you guys remember that? I was talking about the people that like recruits that sort of left the market that I remembered because you're putting so many people through. And then I was thinking of the toughest person. Like, don't get me wrong, I've had men that were like, you know, way tougher and stronger, but the grit and the tenacity and the inspiration this young lady, only 18, gave me as an instructor after being in the army, Rebecca Jones. Jack just messaged me and was told 12-hour wait. Fuck off. Emergency, so he's heading home. Go to his doctor, thoughts and prayer for him. He should be, you can call ones to your house just if you need antibiotics or something, but that sucks. Fuck. My real name is Beck. Then to Rebecca. Okay, cool. So this is her, Rebecca. You share a name with one of the toughest chicks I've ever met and gave me inspiration. This is her here. That is Rebecca Jones. And that's after I've seen her feet, both of her feet. She can't even stand, but she wanted to do the photo with the rest of her rest of her patrol. So this was her section that I took through. That's me. And that's the rest of the... There you go. So they were like a gap year. And that's Rebecca Jones. And this is her on her march out. There she is. That's her after she passed out. Look at that. She became a medic, and I bet you she's one of the best medics in the army. And that's me. So you can see this one here. It's hard to... The very top one there, that's the Chief of Defence Force Commendation. And the one below that's a Soldier's Medallion. And that's what I got. That's my sedulgence, you know. So... Oh, that's my certificate for working. Yep, remember her sore feet, yep. Hope Chris. Well, badass woman. She was a very tough woman. Tell him to call the ambulance, so I'll keep him in, check him out probably. Got to go, mate. Have an awesome night. I will have to check the rest of your stream later. No worries, man. I'll catch you in the morning, bro. Driving Mustangs around bloody Bathurst. If you don't know Matt, put your channel up too, mate. He's got a great channel. Yep, thanks, guys. Night, Matt. Good night, Chris. Brilliant. Night, bro. Chris especially can't afford an ambulance. So see, that's why the ambulance is good in Queensland. When you pay your electricity bill, you're paying money towards the free amp, so no matter where you are in Queensland, you can catch an ambulance for free, so nobody hesitates to ring 000 for an ambo. But I remember before that happened, when I was in 1RAR and I was leaving, I was a young man, and we were getting Christmas leave, and I was trying to drive from Townsville to Toowoomba, just outside Bowen. I wrote my car off, I drove off the highway asleep, and I ended up spending 2 days in Mackay Hospital, getting, fractured my face and blah, 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 but only getting a bill for 14 grand. But I just took it to the Army Regimental Aid place where our medics are, and they just paid it. Who's in hospital? Jack Dagger. If you remember Jack Dagger, he's got the Homer Simpson little... He's a good dude, man. He's really sick, and his missus and kids are a bit crook as well, so I really think about those guys. Yeah. Just trying to have a look here. Oh, here we go. This is the book you get when you're learning all this like Arabic and stuff, all the stuff that I used to have to learn for, flying over there. Yeah. It's cool. That's my recruit instructor certificate. It says, required for recruit instructor, the Army Recruit Training Zone. And that's my special badge. Because you got to pass, not everyone goes there and becomes not everyone goes there and becomes a fucking recruit instructor, even though they try, because you've got to pass all these gates and you've got to get like 90 out of 100 minimum, and you're doing like 100-minute, 200-minute lessons. So when you get that recruit instructor badge, it also comes with 10 grand cash. Just seeing what else is here. I suppose, move this out of the way. That's all my medals. So, yeah, that's all my medals there. Yep. What else I can show you here that you might be interested? We're talking about the Australian flag the other day, about becoming a republic. What's that? Recruits speech coming forward news. Yep, what happened? It's members' night at the RSL tonight, but I've almost run out of cash. Evening Cobb, did you know a bloke called Shannon Koss? OG Shaggy Mac. OG, I don't think so, bro. When did he join and where was he? So that gives you an idea of a recruit. So that's like a platoon. That's how many recruits we would get. So these are the instructing staff. So that's me there. And these are the other section commanders and the boss and the sergeant. And everyone else behind them, all standing, are all recruits. And this is like a week before they're marching out. See, so it gives you an idea. There you go, there's the date. So it gives you an idea of how many people come if you go there. That's how many people you'll be with. Was in for 25 years and up at transport low too. No, well, see, I never worked with many transport guys. That was a hook chat absolute about the flag. That's right, it was in Hooksters. If we become a republic, we have to get rid of the Union Jack. We do, Aussie. That's Iraq times 2 and Afghan times 1. What's that for? Sorry, OG? No, I went to Iraq once and Afghan twice. See, there might be a bit more of a close-up on the medals there. See those? That's the medallion there. The tours, I did 9 months in Iraq in 2003, straight after we invaded. And then I did 9 months in 2010 when I was a sergeant. I took some teams over, and then I took some over again in 2012. I was lucky enough to go again. Most times you only get deployed once because of the toll it takes, but I got to go 3 times because I was chasing it and I was really wanted to go and contribute. So there's a 50 cal round. See that? Give you an idea of my finger. That's how big they are. What else have we got here? Oh, this is my promotions. Promotion to corporal. Oh no, sorry, that's promotion to sergeant. See the date? 10th of December 2008, I was promoted to sergeant. That's my corporal. 17th of January 2005. So, this guy here, he stood on an IED and lost his left leg. Does it say Woodsy is on benefits or pension? I think they agree. I'm not 100% no. Which one, sorry? Is that what you meant? That's why I met Arnold Schwarzenegger in the palace. Not sure, Chris. I think you'll ask him. Yeah, all right, okay. Who would you mean by that, OG? Who's an absolute monster in the pig? I mean, I wish I had more of these ones, though. This is me in the jungle. And that's a saw. You know that story that I talk about where the guy smashed his teeth on the back and he smashed all his teeth? That's what he was carrying. Here, look. I'll show you. Okay, so right here is where the legs come out, and those legs pop down like this, and he smashed his mouth on the back of this here. That thing weighs 14.5 kilos. I'm like 20 years old in this photo. Hard as nails, though. Hard as fucking nails. What's this? Is another one? I didn't even know. That's another certificate. That was me when I went through Kapooka at 18. That's me when I first got up to my infantry 9 platoon. And I'm on the right there. That's me there. That was me at sector in Iraq. See, this is one of the things that we get, members' information. In Saddam's chair, look at that. Look at that fucker. Just some more boys I'll put through. That's me there. Yeah. And then old, lest we forget, this is my march out photo. There you go. January 96. And that's me there. See, all my instructors had never been anywhere. Whereas when I was an RI, when I was a recruit instructor, I already had a bunch of shit. And this guy here, see how taller he is? He tried to fucking chat up Mel and try to get on him when I was away. I ended up bashing him and breaking his arm in front of his family. Cocksucker. So yeah, Rebecca Jones. Toughest chick you'll ever meet. Any questions? Very cool pics. Do we think we should become a republic? I'd love to, because if you're a constitutional republic, every person has real rights that are written down in the constitution. With a democracy, it's like a false sense of freedom we really don't have, because they can pass laws, the parliament can pass laws to affect our freedoms in the middle of the night when we're sleeping. With the constitutional republic, you have these rights that you can't, like the right to remain silent, the right to own a gun, the right to have free speech. But coming with a republic, because I think we should break away from the Commonwealth, you got to change the flag, you know. And that's what I'm scared of, because I've seen too many dudes die for this flag. And all the wars that we fought beforehand, all the men that fought for that flag, you know, this flag. So what goes here? Some people say the Aboriginal flag. I was thinking maybe the Eureka Stockade, because Eureka Stockade represented peacetime and protesting and multiculturalism. And then maybe instead of having a Federation star here, we have the Aboriginal flag here as the Federation star. That way we still keep the Southern Cross. We can have the First Nations First People represented. And then maybe the Eureka Stockade, which is a mark of multiculturalism. That's what I think. Yeah, he was just a kapooka, Shaggy, that guy. He was just like, because some dude you get like a 6 foot.
Protected floor.
Oh, awesome. Oh, shit. Went shooting with some para, chap from SF top blokes, but they synchronised their nightmares, made for a hell of a couple of days. Oh, true. I can only imagine. When I had mine, man, fuck. How many teams did I train through kapooka? Oh, shit.
Catherine bugged in.
On Messenger?
Yeah, she PM'd me.
She's what?
She DM'd me.
What'd she say? Mel, just speak to Catherine, everyone.
She said she's all good. She gets a bit crook some days. Tell them I said hi. And thank you guys.
She's crook. She's just crook at the moment, so she's just out at me. She said thanks for everybody for watching out, because Mel's just speaking to her on Messenger. So at Kapooka, mate, teams like this takes me 3 months to get through one properly. So every 3 months, after 3 months, I'd have a week off. I'd do it again, do it again, do it again. And I'm there from 5:30 in the morning till after midnight every day of the week. No days off. What else have we got here? Ba, 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 ba. Ba, ba, hmm. Oh yeah, I suppose I can give you some of this information I've seen. People haven't really seen what the... This is what the US give us. See, this is from the US Marines. So there's your scale, and yep, so that's like, yeah, this is the bottom. I know you can't see much, but it's just cool showing people shit. See, this is another team I took, that I taught. See that guy there? He was 50 years old. So it shows you you're never too old. And he was going to artillery too. That's me again. Oh, I got to have the 2-up coins for 2-up. Yeah, boy. And one of my other favourite things is John Howard's signature. He signed that before he sent me into Iraq himself. Any mad stories or on drug smugglers, missions or poachers? Not really, because once they're caught, the best part's sneaking up on them and getting the intelligence, man. Because we were in a position where we can act on it. We have to send it to customs because it's a whole different set of laws. They've just asked us to go in there and try and get the intelligence and the evidence, because then customs aren't experts in, surveillance and things like that. So when I was over there, they decided to send me up there and work with these guys. And we had we hired this massive big boat that looked like a cruise yacht. And during the day, we'd have like, it was called the Pure Pleasure Cruise or something. You know, and people were like, you know, pretending we're drinking, we're, you know, having beers and stuff, but they're all empty. We're trying to, you know, not look, so when they're looking out themselves for people that might be like, because you get undercover Ds that are in the boats as well, that we don't look suspicious. And then when nightfall comes, we take it all down and we go full blackout and we go out a few k's off the coast. And then we drop little black rope Zodiacs, which are the boats that you see when you're with the the World Life Safe, when you're at the beach between the red and yellow flags. They're little boats, it's a Zodiac. Ours are blacked out, we're all in black, so we've got cameras and we're going right up as we can. We're getting them, stripping people down ladders into smaller boats, and when that happens, so we don't lose where that small boat or people or drugs go, we have another team follow them, constantly updating us with their situation, because they're waiting till first thing in the morning themselves to hit the beach because they can't see anything and they can't afford to turn any torches or lights on, otherwise they'll be seen. So that was just cool, being sneaky, then coming back and uploading all the stuff to customs and then see them come flying past at a great rate of knots with their lights on to go and do some arrests, and you realise that you just saved some fucking, you know, young women, some kids. And, you know, that's the biggest thing. And drugs too, you know, like they'll start to bring fentanyl and those real bad ones. So I'm not just talking like, you know, weed. We're talking shit that you don't, you know, people don't want. Love that pic of you sitting in Saddam's chair. I know, what a narcissist, eh? Look how big it is. '96 was just leaving Darwin, right? Is that the dog? Is that the dog? Okay, please send her my love. Shane Murphy, ring any bells? Shane Murphy. Oh, did he do drag cars? Did he do drag cars? Was the last bloke on the plane leaving Iraq. Oh, was he? Okay, I didn't know that. Been up 19 hours now, so I'm going to call it a night. Another early start. Good night, Chris, Mel, and all in the chat. Speak to you all the next live. All right, I'll be live again tomorrow night. This was just a random one. I'll be live again tomorrow about 7:30 and so on. Night Woodsy, night Woodsy, night Woodsy. Back, just had a snack. Good night, Woods. Yeah, so, yeah. Oh, here you go. That's my very when I first got there. I wonder if the dickheads that fucking hurt me are there. No, they're not. But that's me look when I first got there. '96. Charlie 910 Charlie Company. That guy there, in 2010, he ended up getting done for murder and doing 10 years in an Afghan jail. His name's Robert Langdon. Look him up. Where is he? Look, back row. Okay, where's Muhlengraf, the guy that did the shit? Leroy. Where is he? Oh, absent. Of course he's absent. That's in there, Wolfie. But, what was I going to show you? Where's Darky? Oh, he's not there yet. But this guy here was Ben Robert Smith's patrol commander when he got his Victoria Cross. I'm not going to say his name because he's still serving in SASR, but I spent a year together in a pit, me and him, just living together. That's me there. So, yeah, fuck, that was a good day. That's when all my boys got back from Afghan and we went to Dubai and we just found the closest pool. That's me being a dick. And they're all my lads. If you look at my community, that's the guy's leg that's stitched up there. Me and Pete sitting in Saddam's chair. There you go, Aussie. Got lung fungus from the body pits. Bro, have you met Ben Robert Smith and what do you think of what happened to him? I know Ben Robert Smith, Aussie. Why don't staff protect their diggers more? What do you mean, in reference to what? Dog trying to shut up Mel. Oh, so I need to go back and fucking... So I'm just trying to find that thing when you first said, Chris, what was it? Something about the dog or something? Yeah, well, that's him, bro. Mike Cobb, you all have a good one. Thanks, OG, for Shaggy, mate, for hanging out. I just want to make sure. Yeah, would you say you were MP? No, I mean, ended up MP, was in East Timor as well. Okay. No, I don't know Shane Murphy then. Keep them out of the media. Yeah, well, see, I hate people having an opinion on a war zone when they haven't been in there to see it themselves. And they don't understand what soldiers like him and we're going through. And the restrictions that we have through the Geneva Convention, our rules of engagement, and our orders for opening fire. And they know all those, the Taliban and the extremists and the true believers when they're fighting, and they use that against us. For example, we can't fire on a vehicle that has a red crescent or a red cross, because there could be somebody that's injured in that car, and we're not allowed to fire on injured people. So they'll paint all their vehicles that colour, knowing that they can't fire. We can't fire at them. They'll fire in big teams and run up a village, and then, you know, bring all the women and children out in the middle of the street, so it's hard, so people get killed in crossfire, and they'll run into a mosque because they know. What's that? Keeping them out of the media, yeah. Good night, OG. Night, Aussie chick. Exactly, yep. Have a good one, mate. Jessery McDonald. No worries, Jessery. Yeah, so, you know, they'll get in a battle, and then when they can see that they're outgunned, or we're taking the initiative, we're starting to turn the tides, they'll run into a mosque, because they know we can't hit the mosque. You know, and there's all these people inside the mosque that are like, get the fuck out, you can't come in because you'll take your shoes off and all this stuff, right? So they use that stuff against us, and they use IEDs too, so there's no one around when they blow up our IEDs, and then they can watch our tactics. When a vehicle gets hit with an IED, sup bro, love your content bro. Quick question, would you rather watch a tree grow or a knee grow? A Negro. That's cowardly using kids in... Oh, mate, sometimes they'll flood it with women and children, and they're scared shitless because they know. But then you get dudes that, like some Taliban fighters that are like actual men and not fucking pieces of shit, and you'll see the night before all the women and children were leaving a village, and hopefully someone gets eyes on that, because it's about 3 in the morning. They'll just empty the village of women and children, and when they do that, we know we're going in there. It's on for young and old. They're fucking fighting to the death because they've just got rid of all the innocents. So, but we prefer that, because then we know everyone's a fucking target, you know what I mean? Just a little thing my kids made me. Welcome home, daddy. Just my pride stuff, you know. Fuck. Yeah. Bush hat. What's this here? And I feel like I'm coming into my rope in Afghan. This must have been stuff that I sent home. Oh, it is. It's a letter I sent home to the kids when I was over there. What's that say? That's cowardly using kids. Oh, bro. They're masters at it, you know. Like they can get rockets to fire in the middle of the night while they're in bed. And during the day, they'll use women's burqas. They'll wear women's burqas to carry the weapons and that around, because at the start we weren't allowed to touch women at all. But what we found out was the case is we can lift the bottom of their burqa with a stick to see their feet. And then that way we could tell whether you were male or female pretty much. Just updating the chat. Just making sure. Anyone else, did I miss any questions? If you've got any questions, throw it at me. I don't mind, eh? Every time I see a lady in a burqa, I feel sorry for her. And you should, Aussie. It's terrible. It's and you know what? Where they are in the Middle East too, what's the hottest colour you can wear in the sun? is when you're wearing a black t-shirt or a black something, you can feel the sun heats it up, it absorbs it, and then starts radiating heat because it hasn't hardly any reflective colours in it. So black, it's a horrible colour to wear in the sunlight. And what's a really good opposite to that to wear in the heat? White. So how is it that all the men wear white robes and white headdress that reflects the heat, and all the women have to wear burqas that are jet black all the way over their face that absorb the heat? Like, it just that in itself is fucking, what's the word, spiteful. Yes, it's sad, hey Aussie, the women are so oppressed. They are. It's fucking terrible. Religion, hang on, what's going on here? Religion starts wars. What's the fucking point of religion? Yeah, I know. And see, and all the religions around the world I don't have a drama with, but it's Islam is the only one that says that, you know, Allah says that you're doing good if you kill the infidel. If they don't first they give you a chance to come across and become one. So if you get caught as a prisoner of war by them, they'll straight away ask you your religious beliefs. Then they'll give you one chance right there and then to denounce your beliefs and to take up Islam and start following Muhammad's teachings, or they'll behead you. So, and you know how many Christians, Arab Christians I saw lined up on beaches getting their heads cut off because they wouldn't denounce Jesus Christ. It made my heart just, it's horrible. You know, like Christianity might be bad and Catholics might be bad, but they're not going around killing people in the name of God. You know, Buddhists, they're not going around doing anything. You know, like Hare Krishna, Mormons, all of the, you know, there's no one out there killing people in the name of God. It just seems to be Islam. You know, because it says in the Quran, whether you like it or not, that they should commit jihad, which is, you know, small gifts to God to make him. So you're doing good points versus bad points. So every jihad you do is like a point system that you get from Allah. For example, a little one would be, if we rock into your village and you know the Taliban went right, but you tell us they went left, that's a small jihad because you lied to us and you protected the freedom fighters and deceived us. So that's a small jihad. All the way up to the best jihad is killing yourself with a vehicle or a suicide vest. And then you're also a martyr, so you get a place in Kabul where they'll do your face as big as a poster as a martyr. And they're saying it's the ultimate, you know, when you're standing there in front of Allah, he can't say no to you to go to heaven because you killed the most infidel in yourself, you know what I mean? Terrible. I shared a post about how extreme radical Islam groups are infiltrating pro-Palestinian groups here in Australia and trying to recruit. They are, Dan, so you're dead right, mate. People that are like doing these pro-Palestinian protests don't know what they're talking about. They've never been over there. They've never been to the Middle East. They haven't been around Muslims like that. And if they think gay for Palestine, do you know what Muslims do to gay people? They've been burnt alive. They've been had your hands tied behind your back in Iraq and thrown off 6-story buildings. And some people survive it. And so you get taken up again and thrown off again. You know, and the fact that all those people that are protesting, if they're not devoted Islam, then all of those are infidel. And the people that you're protesting for want to kill you anyway because you're infidel. So I'm not asking to stick up for Israel, but I'm just saying, be educated. When you're yelling out from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, you're saying kill all Jews. That's what you're saying. You're saying kill all Jews. Because the Jordan River to the Mediterranean is Israel. That's what they're saying. Do a flip. What do you mean do a flip? I can't do a flip. Hey there, all did at some sport. Crusades. That's right. But if you look at the Christian Crusades, that's because the Islam was taken over the Christians' sacred places like Jerusalem. You know, what's sacred for a Christian? Okay, Bethlehem where Jesus was born. Nazareth where he grew up. The Jordan River where he was baptized. Jerusalem where he was fucking killed and where his tomb was and where he raised from the dead. Okay, this is 2,000 years ago. And before that, the Jewish rabbis were running the belief of the old Torah in that area there. that also include Egypt and Lebanon and Syria. Back then it wasn't called that, it was called different things, but it was run by the Jewish religion. So where does Muhammad come to this? Why did Islam come into this? Because Muhammad, when he left Mecca, which is in Saudi Arabia, where he touched the black stone, and when he touched the black stone, it brought all of his sin out of him. That's why they all have to go to Mecca and try to touch that black stone, because it will relieve you of your sin. And as a Muslim, you have to make that pilgrimage once in your lifetime minimum. You know, it's a horrible place. And then they believe that Muhammad got on a dragon and flew from Mecca in Saudi Arabia and landed at the mosque in Jerusalem. So not only is he a pedophile because he married Elisha and had sex with her at 9 years old, not only is he a murderer and a false prophet because in one day he cut off 600 Jews' heads in one day, and it says in the Quran, if you kill Jews and Christians specifically, they will take your place in hell. So that's an incentive for a Muslim, a practicing Muslim, to kill Christians and Jews. So, and I'm not either, none of it, I'm just telling you how it is. And with the Crusades, because Islam had taken over Jerusalem, the Crusaders were coming through, and like I said, killing Jews and Christians in the name of God, the Crusaders decided to bring up their own fighting force and take Jerusalem back, what was precious to them. Otherwise, Islam would have ended up in London, and then they would have still been fighting it. So I don't believe it, but that's why they did that. What God would want the deaths of innocent. That's right. I told my aunt that rather in Islamic heaven, because men have 100 virgins and gold, etc., so they'd rather be in heaven. Do you understand actually how heaven works for Muslim women and Muslim men? Okay, see, they still don't know. They're God-fearing. Islam is God-fearing religion. You'd never know whether you've done enough, and God will invite Allah, will take you into heaven. You just hope by the time you die that your good deeds outweigh your bad deeds and you'll be with Allah. But still you don't know. Even Muhammad didn't know whether he was going to be with Allah or in hell. So when you think about that, with Islam, with that type of, I don't know, what was I going to go there with that? What was I trying to say? With that heavenly belief, this is how oppressed the women are. Okay, so when you die, if you do the right martyr and you receive Allah's worthiness and you go to heaven, you have 70-odd virgins where you get to have sex all night with them, and then in the morning it resets to a new 72. They all become virgins again. And the women that do good deeds and that are with Allah, their gift is that they become one of those virgins. And it says that their breasts will swell and they will be voluptuous. And they will be wanted by their martyr, their man that's been accepted by Allah. So all your gift for heaven is going and having sex with these men, and then at the end of the night, resetting to you being a virgin and young, beautiful woman, and it happening over and over again. That's why I think women, Islam, don't understand what they're really supporting, because they're fucking rebel news. Fuck, the hospital was packed, got a tablet to stop throwing up to the GP. Make sure you drink water, Jack. Keep drinking water, bro. Dome of the Rock. Jack, you're back in action. Thank you, you're back in action, mate. 22 in the channel, 12 likes, please help. Thanks, Dancer. Or Rebecca. Beck. Try asking. Yeah, Woodsy told us you're throwing up all the time. It all stems from Ishmael and Isaac, bro. Yeah, I know, but what are you trying to say there, though, Ben? What do you mean it all goes back from Ishmael and Isaac? That Muhammad was of the bloodline, or it's all bollocks, Islamic beliefs? Rosie, hey mate, how you going, buddy? Oh my God, what the fuck? That's fucked. Yuck. I'm going to say good night. I've had an early morning, taking Dad to appointment. All right, thanks, Rebecca, for popping in. I appreciate it. You always a good chat with you, mate. Powerade and water, yeah, electrolytes. Yep, but yeah, water's a big one. That's what your body's going to be. Jack, yeah, well, he's been throwing up all day, Aussie chick, yeah, so he's crook as. I should show you that, actually. This is Mel. When I was away, Mel went to the range in the army, and this is like the groups that she was getting. If you see that, those numbers, the groups, because she's listened to me over the years, you know, rehearsing my lessons on marksmanship principles, how to shoot, you know, the breathing. Good night, Rebecca. Have a good one, mate. Thanks heaps for popping in. I didn't tell anyone. I think I just asked Jack when he was on the way to the hospital. Yeah. So remember when I was telling people that I was related to the Cray twins, Ronnie and Reggie Cray? That's my nan. That's their cousin. That's my nan and granddad, and that's my mum and her sister. And my cousin, who's a rebel, is her son and their sisters. So that's my granddad's when he was in Korea. But funny story about my granddad, he did his whole time in Korea in jail because he knocked out his major, his boss, and got locked up and spent the whole night. God promised Abraham a son. It's written in the Bible. Oh, that's right. It is. Isaac, and then he gave Isaac, and then he said, take Isaac up to the altar and sacrifice him. And it was testing his dedication and his love and his loyalty to God. But then when he got up there and he was about to kill Isaac, Jesus came down and said, you know, I will provide the lamb, do not kill Isaac, you know. And that's when Jesus comes down and says that to Abraham, not only it's also a prophecy that's being fulfilled saying that I will come down as a lamb one time. And he's showing you how hard it is for you to kill your son when God's going to send Jesus down, you know, for him to die on the cross for our sins. So, but I'm not religious or anything. I grew up as a Christian, but I never followed it. Hey Chris, what happened if someone was in the field and become sick like I am now? Well, if we're on a fighting a patrol, we'll always get you medevaced. We can always bring in a helicopter in the darkness, mate, and get you medevaced if you're that bad. But if it's like, looks like you've, you know, we will test for 24 hours, I'll just pull up. So we'll stop patrol and stop working. We'll let you just fucking get rest and everybody will look after you. If you don't improve in 24, then I'm getting the medical team out and do Casevac, which means getting you pulled out by chopper to a hospital. Like I had one guy, Hamish, he woke up in the middle of the night, mate, an Afghan, with the worst shits. And he shat everywhere. He shat over his bed, over his mattress, he shat over. And in an environment like that where we're so close together, I had to grab all his shit and take it to this burn pit and start burning it. And we had Afghans that were there sort of rummaging through the rubbish and, like when you see people at the dump and they're sort of grabbing old bicycles and the motors out of microwaves. They're doing the same thing, but these guys were fighting for the mattress. And I'm going to them, that's shit. It's liquid shit. And they didn't care. They just wanted to grab it and fucking go and lay on it in the shit. They didn't care. So I had to fight them off and went to stand there and watch it burn because they kept trying to drag it out of the fire. Yeah, so, and that was him for 24 hours. So I just let him be in his room in a nice bomb-proof room where he could drink water and after 48 hours he was fine. But if it gets that bad, we'll send you to the closest like hospital where it's full on, you can have full on heart surgery and everything is in Berlin in Germany. But we have a hospital a little one in TK, and then we have another bigger one in Kandahar, like to get you, you know what I mean? If you've got a leg blowing off and you've got your eyesight blowing out, and you've got a couple of fingers blowing off and you've got a few holes in you, they can stabilise you, you know what I mean? Get you ready. Hi from WA, Jonathan Gillis. Were you aware of the SIS? I lived in WA for 2 years in 2005 and 6 and lived in Swanbourne down there. Anyone Ramey, Royal Australian Mechanical Engineers. I know a few Ramey boys. Oh, that's what I wore in Bougainville too. That's the thing we wore there, see? That was my top secret pass to get into the headquarters in Qatar before we moved to Iraq. And that's just my Lance Corporal rank thing, but yeah, that's whole of Charlie Company. Oh, the guy that threw shit into the fan? Where are you, Leroy? Where are you, motherfucker? Oh, I've got to show you. Hang on a sec. So bear with me. Let me show you the guy. Remember my very first story that I talked about? I've got to show you this guy. This guy here is a guy that used to get cartons of piss. The very end there, he used to get cartons of piss and go and fight Aboriginals for it. Because he wanted to test himself all the time. Bear with me, bear with me. Fuck, where is he, the cunt? I can't find him, but I'm going to show you that cunt, Leroy Muellinger have. So look at this guy, he's been in SAS for 12, 13 years. Look at him, he's skinny and... See, he doesn't look anything special. And he's one of the most elite tier 1 operators we have. Just another thing from the kids. From my daughter. Just seeing anything else here. Oh, that's the peace monitoring one. Oh, some more money. Just trying to see what else I got in here that you might be interested in. No. I'm in Queensland, bro. Yeah, so... Here you go, this is the Quran. This is the Quran that I used to have to give to prisoners when we got them. This is from an Afghani one. There's the full-blown Quran in their Arabic. They speak in Afghanistan. G'day, Ben. So, yeah. Where's the jumpsuit? Sorry, I'm just looking for something I'll just put up. Precious boy. He's a precious boy. That was Jack just messaging me about the Quran. Where'd you put that suit, Mum? Alright, this is what we give him. This is what we got made up over there. It says Baghdad Surf Life Saving. We tried to do it like that, and on the back it just says Baghdad Sand Patrol. That's the pants. And this is the shirt. This is what we give him. So we give him that. We give him that, the Quran. And we give them a prayer mat. And then they just sit there and spit at us. How high up were you before you left the army? What bar did you drink in? Sergeant, I got the sergeant. So, see, that's a platoon there. Okay, so that's a platoon. So, see how big that is? That's 9 platoon. And I was in charge of that many men by the time I got out. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just a really cool room, man. What else is down here? No, it's just all the places I've been. Yeah, so any other questions like that? That's cool. What bar did I drink in? The bars I drank in. No, we used to drink on base because for $20 you could go to your own boozer. Every unit on the army bases have their own pubs. We call it a boozer, and the president is run by a senior corporal, and he has a president. He has a boozer committee. That's a treasurer. Someone's in. And this is extra duties you have to do on top of just being a normal soldier. So you got to run a boozer, but it gives you heaps more prestigious in your end of year report because you've been doing this extra thing like running the boozer, and it's got to be fully stock take, just like running a bar. Except we charge like say 80 cents for a can of rum, 50 cents for full strength beer. So you go to the boozer with $20, you can get blind and take home change. So. Not many of us really go off. In the 90s we did because we did still go and fight. We used to love fighting, so we'd get drunk as fuck and then our fighting teams would get in extended lines and we'd go down the street and fight anyone that was fucking gobbing off. Favourite platoon I trained? Jack's always with the good ones. I'm dozing off. I'll see you tomorrow. Alright Chris, take care bro. Keep us posted. Then the MP's waiting for you at the gate. What's that for? Yeah, not in the 90s the MPs wouldn't be. They didn't get involved because the RSMs were talking to the police. It didn't even link up to the military police because we didn't respect the military police back then. And they'd get bashed by so many people. Oh, leaving the boozer. Yeah, bro. Are you ex-army, Ben? What did you do? Because you know the terminologies, Ramey and that. Yeah, they did. But you shouldn't be drinking and driving anyway. Hey brother, isn't it fucking cold? Might put one more piece of wood on the fire and keep carving. It's taking shape. Oh brother, everybody, Dale, he's my best mate. He just lives up the road from me. And at the moment, he's got this walker stick that's made out of either ghost gum or iron bark. And he's done all these designs because he's also a tattoo artist, Dale is. And he's a very good drawer. And he's doing me a walking stick that's going to have like 420 leaves on it, and he's going to put 22 rounds in the top of this walking stick so it looks like a barrel. And yeah, he's awesome, mate. Like Dale gave me his hat I'm wearing. See, it's an army hat. This is what Dale gave me. He gave me this. But lest we forget. Yeah, Dale's giving me heaps of shit. He's come to that RSO had Anzac Day with me. You're far, you Aussie chick. No worries, mate. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it, mate. You always good to have a chat. Cup of tea time. Yep. Bloody oath. You've been drinking wine, Aussie chick, or do you just go down the RSL, have a bit of a play and a feed? What else was I going to show you? Love you, that's why. Dale, mate, he's a champion. He's got my back out here, I know that. and he knows he's got mine. getting that white stuff and talking to him. I'm not going up. This is the other rest of Afghan. Here's Kabul, the capital. And this is the Hindu Kush. This is the ranges where Mount Everest and all those K2 and all that are. And that there is the border to China. So this is the back side of that. And we were down here, down this highway. And you might even find Tora Bora, see Lapsuli, that's one of those places where they mine that stuff. See this? Lapsuli mine. Bagram. Lots of US Navy SEAL movies and that talk about FOB Bagram, that's what they're talking about. What else? Jalalabad. Bad bot fighting there. So I'm just trying to show you some of these cool things, just so if you ever hear them, you sort of know where they are. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah, so just showing you shit around the place wearing my bloody I'm a captured terrorist uniform. Yeah, man. Let's see what else we've got here. Oh, that's the charag that all they wear in the, the pro-Palestine is what they got around their heads. Oh. Another flag mill put up. That was Pato. Oh, Pato just asked me if I'd be interested in doing a Luke Irwin podcast. Shit, might shut that down. Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think? I've been out since 4 AM almost, dude. What's paid? Yeah. Plus he's got kids and that when you can't sit in waiting rooms. Luke Irwin podcast. Well, I know of American soldiers that shot themselves in the foot so they could get out of going to war. I don't know, guys. I'm not a big fan of that Luke Irwin dude. Like, I don't know. Fuck yeah, do what everyone's saying, but yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think of that Luke Irwin dude? I've never really liked that. Goes around Brisbane doing all like pranks and trying to get dudes to fight and giving people alcohol shots. And now he's doing that podcast. I mean, I watched the one with Nathan, with Pato. Don't do it if you feel uncomfortable, probably don't do it. I don't know, I just don't like him, Like if that Chaos Chronicles or Spanian or someone asked me to do something, I'd be like, I don't know, because I don't really, but I'm allowed to not like them. I mean, I don't know. I've just been hit this literally Nathan, Pato just messaged me right then. So, I don't fucking know. But my most favourite certificate is this one. My wedding certificate. My fave. That was Mel and me when we were in our 20s. Sorry, guys, I'm just looking at shit. This is... We'll go and check on that guy if he's a crim or not. I don't think he's a crim. He's actually said that he got done doing pranks on somebody, got locked up for a few hours, and he played like he had a bad mental health, so he didn't get locked up in Maine. Night man, thanks for popping in, mate. Look him, Aussie's got a bug. Follow on. Look. But yeah, this is something that Mel made. Look at that. All my signed albums. See, Mac Lethal dropped a fucking diss track about him. That's my favourite one. That CD's going to be worth probably over $1,000 now. There's only 1,000 of these put out, and the gold and double signed by Adam Calhoun, my favourite thing. So that whole thing would probably be worth, in a few years, $5 or $6,000, I reckon. Sorry, just Pato. Oh my God, Prob's a massive attention seeker. If you do it, he may try to prank you. Oh no, he won't. If he tries to prank me, he won't have it. Met him not long ago, Chris. Matured a lot from what he was in the stupid videos. He's not a bad bloke, to be honest, mate. Totally different to what you'd expect. Okay, meow meow. I'll take everybody's advice on board. I mean, I've never met him, so really my opinion on what type of person he is really doesn't count because it's only what he's shown on social media, right? Here we go. How do I do this? Should I do Luke? Is it Irwin? How do you spell the fucking dickhead's name? Irwin. What's his name? Again? Irwin, yeah, I don't know what then. I'm trying to be creative here. Do there we go. No, I don't think so. Look how tricky I am, eh? I thought maybe this might happen. I thought maybe if I got my story out there, people with bigger followings might want to... I mean, if I can reach younger men, I don't really want to do the, hey, look at me. I just really want to do, hey, young fellas, there's a better choice in life. And really document my stories the way I'm documenting it. I suppose, I don't know. Plus, I've got a lot of, I don't trust any people that left since I left the army, you know. A lot of people I've met since leaving the army, a lot of people talk shit and really don't have your back. you know. Yeah, I want to grow my channel, but I don't want to grow it just like, you know, kids and I don't know. I want to try and get, you know, keep true to my message of, you know, the army's a good career choice. You know, it's a good for so many reasons. It will push your point across, mate, same as you did, Pato. Yeah, right, eh? Oh, maybe I'll think about it, eh? I might watch a few more of his podcasts, see what he's like. I just protect Chris going through on. Thanks, Aussie. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't really bother me if someone's trying to exploit me because, I mean, they can't. As long as they don't talk shit about my missus or my flag, not much you can really do to me. You do what you feel comfortable. Yeah, I mean, I do what you feel comfortable, mate, but I think you would be pleasantly surprised by the boy. Okay, meow. How did you meet him and know him, bro? What's that, whoa, chopper? Hey, hi, mate. Hey, whoa. Because a good guy, okay, dribble 4x4. Oh, what did William Boy say? And the poll, and the winner goes to yes. Wild Cuba. Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm really good. Just chilling in my catch a terrorist outfit. Just get outside getting wood. Oh, fuck. It's cold out here. Let's just buy. Come on, boy. And then our little blue staffy. That's a Patchy. Here's a Patchy. Because she's a gunship. She's a blue staffy. Hey, Patchy girl. Here's a good girl. Mwah. Oh, yeah, with the phone, yeah. 3.4, fucking hell. Right. I've had to do bush in that before. Oh, cute doggos. Where's Lamb Chop? I've got one more. Oh, Lamb Chop's in with Josh. We got a little dog, little silky terrier cross Maltese, and we named her Lamb Chop. We call her Choppy. Oh, fire. Yeah, boy. Best thing that I own. Did all that myself. -4, where do you live? Where do you live, bro? This is my daughter's old room. Oh, Victoria, yeah, I've done Puckapunyal, mate. It's cold down there in the winter. 4 a.m. or 4 p.m. Oh, I'm a morning person. What's your most memorable experience in training? Oh, dude, there's so many. There's so many where, you know, I've seen people where I'm training them as recruits, so they're not really going to be my soldiers as such, but still they're with me under my command for 100 days. And we do one about 3 weeks in called the High Wire Confidence Course. And it's a roping course that you have to do it, I don't know, maybe fucking 40 metres in the air. It's really high. You know, it's like 100 feet high. Yeah, well, you know, Puckapunyal, and I think it was a place there where they go, their little town they all go to. Puckapunyal, I can't remember what it was called. But yeah, you got all the School of Artillery, you got all lots of stuff down there. I did my sergeant courses down there 30 days in the wintertime. My God, it was one of the hardest bush trips I did. But Jack's, so when I was putting people in the highway confidence course, especially people that, you know, that have a really bad fear of heights, and some people don't even know they've got it until they're at height. And it's like where their muscles go to jelly, they start shaking. And literally when you hear people say they're white knuckling, you can see them white knuckling. I don't like heights, that's about living in Taz, had the hike bushwalk and mountain climb. That's good fun. I mean, like, when it's like going up mountains and you're in a trail and you can see where you don't go near that cliff, you'll fall off. It's a different type of when you're like on a steel wire rope and you're fully extended up like this and you've got to try and traverse across it 30 feet, you know. And everyone on the ground's giving you shit like me as a recruit instructor. Hurry the fuck up, your mate's up there bleeding. You're just going to stand there and let him bleed to death while you're having dramas with your height. And then seeing people get over their height, their fear of a height, and doing it, and then seeing them when they get down, how they've mastered that, not mastered it, but they got through it, you know what I mean? And just seeing them get to know themselves a little bit and thought, fuck, I can do it. And you just see a little bit of them strengthen and grow. That was mad seeing that happen to people, you know? That was mad having that to people. It really was. But then there's sessions where I've gone training where we've just been one elite unit, and because we play real armies, like we have a real enemy when we go and do these bush exercises. We have a real enemy that's trying to exploit us. And at the end of that, when you've been operating so hard and professional for weeks and you've been winning and dominating, and then the last day they decide to cut it early and they bring out barbecues and a few cartons of beer, and then you sit down and have a few sausages and a few beers with your mates that you've just been training and fighting with for 6 weeks. That can be a mad. When you sit down, it's just, and you're sort of debriefing, as we call it, or in the middle, when we come home from war zone, they call it decompression. A decompression, yeah. So when you come back from war, they give you 3 months off to decompress and, you know, try and swap back over to Western culture. It will see the army will push you in your fears, you know. So, but the problem is, most of the ones like a highway confidence course, if you don't do it, you don't fail. But then you walk away with that fucking never tried. You know what I mean? I didn't go jelly, but unfortunately I did see on the side of a mountain and refused to move. I know that feeling too. Yeah, and the overwhelming fear of death and falling just makes you want to sit down and that's all you can think about. I've been in that situation, but for something else. But then we find out, right, I would put myself in that situation a lot more, so it's not scary. I'm just sitting on a hill. You know, think of it as sitting on the driveway, there's no hill to fall off. You know, it's like when you walk on a diving board at 20 feet, you walk really careful. But when it's a foot above the ground, you don't even care. You just walk on it because you know if you fall off, you can put your foot down. You got to try and get that same sort of theory for when you're at height by only putting yourself and exposing yourself at heights and putting pressure on yourself. Like, if I don't do this, my teammate's going to die. If I don't achieve this, you know, so it's not about you. Did you ever walk away from something in training? What do you mean by that? Did I ever walk away from something in training? Something that I didn't like, or what do you mean by that? Yeah, white knuckle climb. Yeah, see, heights is a big one. See, I don't have a fear of heights. I just have a healthy respect. So, yeah, because I've had to build towers, 100-foot towers. Have you ever heard of deco? The 6-inch triangle stuff that they use as antennas for radios. They're like 500 feet. I've had to be at the top of one of those, and they're like no bigger than my finger and a triangle, and you're 100 feet, and these things are moving and trying to get guy right so we can put a satellite dish at the top of it in Afghanistan, shit like that. Did I ever walk away from training that I couldn't do or didn't like? Nah, not one thing. And I didn't like lots of it. But I was all about it though. I was all about leading for example. Once I got rank, I led from the front. I led by example. And I made sure that I was gonna, anything I had to ask my soldier to do, he or she has seen me do it. Okay, so they know that when I'm asking them, and because usually it's not asked, it's an order, so you don't get an option. So for example, I'd go, Jack Dagger, you're going to go and dig the shitter. That's it. You don't get, can I do this? You just go and dig the fucking shitter, right? So, there's nothing that I ever was training. The harder it was, the more I embraced. And then the harder I got training, when I became a sergeant and a corporal, I tried to make the training harder than what it was when I was a soldier, because I knew what it was doing to me mentally, and I knew how toughening it was and how beneficial that was just in life, even when you get home. Just being tougher, mentally tougher, and just showing your family that you got this. My sister was shocked. I flew a glider at 5,000 feet, but flying at heights, two different things. It is. It is, I think so. And you're in a glider, so you can always, you glide out. But no, I don't really, any fear I have is something happening to my family or my team. That's it, the only fear. And then me losing control of that situation and someone dying or getting hurt seriously. That was my only fear. And because it was a fear that was real, I couldn't really put myself in that situation to practice being, you know what I mean? Like I can't injure somebody, then, practice trying to protect them and building. Is there something that you learned from that you use every day still? Yes, okay, situational awareness, people. The minute you step foot off your property, you should have, especially women, you should have situational awareness. If I was a woman, I'd straight away in my right hand, I'd have some sort of form of defence if I'm not with a male, as in my car key. Let me show you. If I was a woman, this is how I walk around if I was you. Like that, straight away. Car key, okay? In your hand. First thing you do is you check, if you're about to walk to the right, you look 50, 60 metres, 100 metres down to the left, make sure there's nobody behind you, and is there any places somebody could hide, like is there a shop front? And then you look forward to where you're going to be walking, you look whether you're on the right-hand side or which is the way of traffic, and would you rather walk with the traffic on the left-hand side coming up behind you, or on the right-hand side where you can see the traffic coming towards you? Okay, and then when I'm in a building, I'm always looking for the fire exits, I'm memorising where they are, and I'm always remembering like what type of things I've seen on people that are wearing, like I've seen a dude with a belt, and I know where he is in BW for the next 15 minutes if I need to get a belt. That guy's a big guy. If I need to hold someone down and go to another guy, this guy better sit on somebody. This is just what my brain says. Situational awareness. When I'm on the highway, I look as far as I can see, then I work backwards. So when I'm coming on the highway, I'm looking as far as I can, 20, 50, 60 cars in front, and then I work backwards, and then I do that again. So that I can see the brake lights of the cars 40 up in front, so that I'm braking then instead of reacting to the cars in front of me. Behind me, I'm always if someone wants to push me hard, I always go 10 kilometres slower, just to push the point that I'm about safety and you can't bully me into what speed you want to do. Okay? I look for people that are like skipping out, methods, twitching, doing all that funny stuff that they do in the shops, because they're looking for an easy target too to grab some money, especially in Gympie. So I suppose I use those type of skills. I'm very situational, where I can tell you the colour of cars that are around me. I can tell you, I just remember things. If I think a car looks sus or I saw some dudes, I remember number plates. I don't know, just things like that. I suppose I bring to the table. So it's like when I leave my property, I switch on again back into that kill mode, protect my family mode. It's overkill, obviously, but it's just hard to turn off. You know, it's hard to turn off, especially when you've been in war zone and it's been on for 9 months straight at full capacity. It's hard to fully turn that back off ever. You know, so I'm very situational where if I sit in a restaurant, I sit in the corner with my back to the corner so no one can walk from behind. And I always sit close to an exit. I always, when I go into a restaurant, I always try to see where the chef's knives are. So if I need to get them, I know exactly where to run to. Just things like that. You know, just things like that. Does that answer any questions about what I'm doing? You know, skill that I used? And I suppose when I'm shooting, obviously, I can shoot accurately out to long distances, you know, especially if we go out to shoot a reel or something. My young fella's got a mate coming over from America for the Christmas time. And he's an aircon mechanic and he's struggling to make $1 over there. And I said, you should come live here for free. And, you know, aircon mechanics make good money here. But he says he doesn't want to live here because he doesn't want to lose his guns. You know, he's got a AR, what's the 308 one? The AR-16, I think. But it's a 307.62 with a red dot sight. You know, so the first thing, and he kills his own food. He doesn't go shopping. He shoots deers and goes duck hunting and shit. And we said to him, what's the first thing you want to do when you get here? And he goes, I want a gun and I want to go shoot a roo, skin it and eat it myself. And I'm like, yeah, I'm your huckleberry. We can make that happen, buddy. You know, something else that I learned that you should be really is knots, tying knots. That goes unstated. The amount of times I need and use to tie knots, especially I live on 4 acres here, so. But like learning how to do a truckie's hitch, a sheep shank, a bowline, how to do a splice, how to do an eye splice, how to do a reef knot, and what these knots are used for. So a reef knot, if you've got one rope that's thick and another rope that's small, a reef knot is good for joining 2 ropes that aren't the same diameter. You know, a sheep shank, if you've got a piece of rope and it's got like it's been caught on the trailer and it's sheared through, so it has a weak point, a sheep shank allows you to tie this particular knot that takes the weakness out of that rope and makes it strong again. A bowline, it's like it's a round hole you make with the rope so that you can use it to tie things down or tow. I did. Did you ever do a trade while in the army? Well, I did. I ended up doing through Box Hill TAFE in Melbourne. I got up to I was a telecommunications engineer, so I know everything there is to do about communications and telecommunications when it comes to HF, VHF, UHF, satellite, MRSAT. I'm not good at the software side of it. So once the cable plugs into the server, that's another person's job. People that are running servers and doing all that, like the electronic side of it, is a different job. What I'm good at doing is building a network. You know, because I'll say, right, we've got 100 people, they need access to top secret, defense secret, DRN. They also need, you know, access to, you know, Hotmail and all this type of stuff. So then they'll give it to me and then I'll come up with a plan because I've gone to Box Hill TAFE and said, I've only got 2 or 3, what do you call it, like units to have an advanced diploma in telecommunications engineering. So as long as that makes you sound smart, when it comes to like techo stuff, like using phones and technology, I'm useless. Because like I said, once it gets to the actual apparatus, that's where my job stopped. So that's why you'll see I did that in 2001 to make myself more deployable. And then that's how I got the gig and was chosen to move into Iraq by myself and set up that headquarters and the detachment. And then in 2010 and 2012, I was taking my team over to convert the whole Australian network from Baghdad down to Oman to Kabul. Anywhere where there's an Australian person deployed on operations, including the Navy ships, I built the network and meshed it in Afghanistan and Iraq. and I did the pit and piping and put the fibre optic cables down. I put up secondary and third devices so that if a mast saddle or something went down in a fob, they had a different way of getting out. I made sure when I fly around to all the different fobs and different patrol bases that they all had made sure that they've had the opportunity to ring home and ring loved ones to make sure, because some people don't get the ring for once a month, you know, and in my position, because I've got a satellite phone, I can ring whenever I want, but there's some perks of what jobs you do, right? So, so I was in with the infantry guys, developing their communication networks to make them robust. And because they had all these assets that they weren't using because they weren't confident. And because I'm a grunt, I can come down and relate to these guys and explain them, they trust me, and I build a network, and then they can do a lot more things. Because if I was going in the comments right now, if I was going to say to you, what's the most powerful weapon or the best weapon you can have in a war zone, what would you think it is? Some of you are going to say a rifle, a machine gun. Some will say access to indirect fire support like mortars or Apache gunships. If I'm still there, anyone? What do you reckon would be the most important weapon or thing you would want in a war zone? How many Aussie flags do I have? Heaps. I mean, just here. 1, 2, 3, and then there's one in my bedroom when I wake up. There's the last platoon I put the recruits put through, and they all signed it, so there's a massive one in my bedroom. Then I have one on my chest, and then I have the flag and the map of Australia. So yeah, I've got heaps. You are the best weapon to have. That was soldiers are the best when it comes to assets. Where in Australia are you from? I'm Tonga. I'm in Fraser's Coast in Queensland, near Rainbow Beach and Tingham Bay. So no, the best weapon to have is a radio. Because when I push in a press or switch on a radio, I can call in an interpreter. I can call in medivac, medicine. I can call in fast air, dropping 500 pounders. I can call in Apache gunships. I can call in artillery. I can call mortars. I can call for more rations and more bullets. I can run the war on a radio if you know how to use it. Right? And that's what the best weapon is. What do you think about the Aboriginal flag? I don't think anything of it. I mean, I respect our First Nations people, and I respect the flag. I don't have anything to do with it, so I don't rep it or have it flying, or, you know, I don't have any Aboriginal descendants in my family. But yeah, I've got nothing about. We're discussing it about today. This is what I was thinking, Tonka one, for a new flag if we become a republic, is having the Eureka Stockade, which symbolises multiculturalism, and instead of a Federation star, the Aboriginal flag, and then keep the Southern Cross as it is. Just my point of view. What was the funniest thing that happened or story you heard? Well, one of the funniest ones is when you're practicing, it's called defence assisted evacuations. For example, you're on holidays in Egypt, and then a bunch of terrorists in Egypt take over Cairo, and you're stuck, held hostage. We'll send an infantry battalion over, and it's called anyone with an Australian passport will come in aggressively grab you and rescue you and bring you back home. Okay, so we have to practice these things. And up in Townsville where we practice that, we've built a complete village with a train station, bank, main street, suburb, school, high school, bus stops, barbershop, meat, just a small village, everything you need to run a small village, right? We built one complete with 3-bedroom house, like 25, proper houses with bathrooms, like a proper suburb with a school, and you name it, it's got everything. So we can practice those type of techniques, you know what I mean, of getting people out. But when we're doing that training, we ask the opposite battalion. So for one RAR, when we're training, 2 RAR will come over dressed in civilians and harass us and fuck us and try and, smash us from getting, we're training against each other in real time. Like, they're really throwing Molotov cocktails at me. Real time, proper, beer bottles full of fuel, and diesel, and they're throwing them at us, man. So we know how to put each other out and all this. How do you beat, what's that? What was the funniest thing that happened? Yeah, how do you beat 11 in a fight? Same kind of thing. Yeah, I agree. But how long until shit hits the fan with China? It won't meow meow. China won't go off because if you have a look, if you didn't know, in Darwin there's 6,000 Marines that are permanently posted there, that they put there about 5-6 years ago. And with that, and they're going to be there permanently. With those 6,000 Marines in Darwin, comes an aircraft carrier and a destroyer group to protect that aircraft carrier. So if China was even thinking of coming down, America have an investment here now, not just because we're their best ally and fought side by side every war with them since the Boer War. Now they have 6,000 Marines they need to protect and have an interest in, right? So I don't think China's going to do shit. Especially if Trump comes in. If Trump comes in, you watch the world will just calm down. If Biden stays in, I think America will have a civil war, and then who knows what happens with China. But we really want Trump, or we want Republicans to get in it this time, whether you like him or not. But what was I saying to Jack? The funniest thing, so we're doing this, and I was playing enemy against 2RR. That was their turn. And we've been getting these water bombs because we're trying to be protesters, harassing them, trying to we're meant to be people that are trying to kill the Australian citizens, and they're practicing, getting through aggressive crowds to get Australian citizens and get them captured and bring them back to safety. So you can imagine all the shit we're throwing at them, right? So we used to get these water balloons and we'd fill them full of human piss and human shit, and then let them fester in the sun, out in the sun for about 4 days, and then we threw them at these guys. Oh, dude, and you could hear them throwing up and, making promises, we're going to kill those cunts who just fucking threw them at us. Because they're in real-time training, but they've just snapped out of it because they've realised they've just been hit with piss and shit. And they're throwing up, and what I'm trying to do is break a vulnerability so that one of their dudes puts a link in their wall, and then we can try and improvise it. Exploit it. So that's what I think about China. And China aren't good fighters. They've never been to war. They're not war hardened. They don't know how to look after a main supplier out, which America realised, the MSR is the most important thing when you invade a country. And to be able to keep the main supply route open from China to the top end of Australia and down through. Yeah, too hard. So I don't think China will do shit. And plus, you look at the way they treat their people. If you have a look at how many people, get the death penalty, like in America, it's like 20 people a year. China are killing their citizens by the thousands. China doesn't want war. They can't afford to go to war. They've just built their economy up. That's sort of... The problem with China is, though, they just don't treat their people well, and they're just not creative. They steal anything that's been made and reverse engineer it. They take everything, like a Hawaii phone, which was based off of Android, by taking a Samsung 11 apart, and you know what I mean? They just steal shit and reverse engineer it. And then not only do they reverse engineer it, they reverse engineer it with cheaper parts. Like, look at in Grenfell, the towers in London where all those people died because they used Chinese fucking aluminium. I'm back, made a cup of tea, what's happening? People just asking to see if what we're trying to do invade us or not. And I was talking about one of the craziest shit I did with training by throwing balloons full of human piss and shit at soldiers that were training to do a defence-assisted evacuations. But they got us in the end. They found out which guys threw it. They got me and held my head over a CS gas canister, which I thought I was going to die, which is those CES gas is horrible. It makes you feel like you're going to die. 100 degree, mate. America won't fuck around with them if it kicks off. Did you ever go near North Korea? I have never been anywhere near North Korea, bro. But again, they're useless. I mean, they've been given Russia, got in bed with China and North Korea and asked if they could, supply them some rounds for the Ukraine war they're in, because Russia's going through their stock. And now they're using North Korean and Chinese ammunitions, and 50% of them aren't even working. 50% of them aren't going off. 50% of them are letting go in their mortar tubes and hurting the Russians that are firing in them. And that's because they just don't know how to look after their stuff. With Australians, once the bullets, even if on the shelf, even if they haven't been shot and they still look brand new, we throw them out because it has a shelf life, even though they'd probably be perfect. But that's what makes us the difference between First World Army and a Third World Army. We're dropping ammunition guided by satellites that need to acquire 8 satellites so it can land within a millimetre on the ground. Whereas a lot of the Russians and Chinese weapons are line of sight. You need to see the target to fire. CS gas, I've never heard of it. CS gas, okay, so what it is, it's this canister, and anywhere there's water, sweat, it just feels like you're burning. Someone's put a hot coal to your face. Your eyes, because they're wet, instantly on fire, you can't open them. And because your mouth and your lungs and that are wet, you can't breathe. As soon as you go to breathe, it's like someone's tipping acid down your throat. And you start choking. It's this horrible choke, because as you choke and try to suck in air, it's so bad. And what they do is, when we're doing this, did you see the Russians made an alliance with North Korea? Yeah, but only for ammunition. Most memorable ride you've taken on my GSR? Oh man, going with Dale on my bike. I love riding, guys, and I love going up the mountains. I'm not really about getting on the highway and being a dickhead at 200, 300k an hour, but I'll get up in the mountains with, Mount Glorious or Mount Nebo for the people that know Brisbane. And, it's a good 15, 20 minute ride, and I'm just trying to get my knee down, trying to get as low as I can on the bike. It's just you, your bike, and your line that you pick. And I'm a pretty good rider, so, I can get to the top of the mountain and have a coffee before the boys even get up there. I buy a box of 308 every payday. Yep. What have you got, mate? 308. Yeah, what's that for? What do you got, a 303? No. 308, that's 762, isn't it? What are you firing at that? Fucking sick as lad. Aussie Havoc 76. G'day, bro. 76, were you born in 76? Fuck yeah. Yeah, so anything, the North Koreans are useless. Like, any army where the president or the government doesn't respect them, like Russian army, aren't doing well because they really don't give a fuck about their soldiers. 762 straight pull, brother. Yeah, righto. Yeah, well, that's going to stop most things, mate. That's going to stop, any animal. Elephants will smash all that shit. 762. Oh, yeah, in the chest. Yeah, you're going to fuck person up pretty good. As Trent would say, fucking sick. As Trent would say, fucking sick, eh? Who the fuck's Trent? Yeah, so that's what makes a first world. Like, for example, when we went to Iraq, Johnny Howard, before he sent me into North Iraq, he said, "What's your fear?" And I said, "Water, fresh water, because it's really hot. It's the fucking one of the hottest places I've ever been. It's Baghdad." We had temperature gauges of 50 degrees and they were just flashing, and we worked it out when we looked them online. Flashing means it's above 50 degrees. It's as high as the thermostat would go. So I'm just going back, yeah. Good for camels over here. Yeah, well, we got the best camels in the world. When the Burke and Wills and all those first settlers that decided to, the first Australian pioneers, they were using Afghan camels because they were the best, and then just let them go, and now they've bred crazy in the desert. Now people want to buy our camels because they're the best. I'm just trying to get back to another question here. Yeah, so John Howard, and he said, I told him my biggest fear was water, because the Americans, when I got up there, only had 2 water bottles per day. And he said, as soon as you get up there, I'll make sure you have pallets of water. And I was like, thanks, sir, not thinking he'd do it. And then boom, bro. First C-130 comes down, the whole thing is full of water. And then you had the next one was full of water with about 10 fridges. Like ones that you see at the shop, you know, when you open your slides, you got the Coke or your Gatorades and that, like proper drink fridges. He sent them over so we could plug them into generators and keep our water cold. You know, this is what he did for us. Whereas there's Americans dying right 10 metres from me in their sleeping bags from heat exhaustion. And I felt bad because I could drink all the cold water I want. In the end, obviously, I was giving it to Yanks as well. But it just shows you how much the government, when the government does that for me, it makes me want to fight harder. New subscriber here, mate. Have to look forward to the next. Yeah, bro. It's the first time we get to wall ups and stuff, bro. Like I said, I've done 2 tours of Afghan, a tour of Iraq, a tour of Bougainville, did 22 years in the army. I was a recruit instructor. I got to the rank of sergeant. I took my own teams to Afghan. I've really only scratched the surface on what I've done. I'm trying to drop more videos, but, you know, it's all new to me. And I'm trying to target the right crowd. I want to try and target young men, you know, 15 to 25 or 30, that are having shit life or shit, you know, time and you want to join a fucking gang that's got your back, join the fucking army, bro. Andrew, give me back my purse, as Trent would say. Kevo, he's a sicko. Kev has a big dicko. God bless you, mate. I like talking like this, you know, you probably would. I'm going to get my old China plate, you mate. We're going to go down the Tin Can Stub, the pub. But it's your Wally Grout, it's your shout. You better have some red rash cash in your fucking skyrocket pocket. Before I go, though, to have a Dad and Dave and shave and then train the Yogi Bear the hair. And then we're going to hit the Frog and Toad road. On the way, though, we've got to get a dog's eye pie with some dead horse sauce. And then I'll meet up with the Trouble and Strife, the wife, or the Cheese and Kisses, the missus. Or the little Crim should join the army instead of being... Well, it would sort them out. Because when you're 17, you can see them all trying to outdo each other. Put their chest out. Look, look at me, I'm the maddest now. I'm the maddest. Whereas in the army, that ego goes away. So no one's competing for ego now. You're competing to make sure you're competent, but because you're all learning how to kill with bayonets. You're all learning how to navigate properly. You're learning how to find people in the bush by, you know, why things are seen and why they move. You know, you become very, very punctual. The army teaches you to be 10 minutes before any appointment. So any appointment for the rest of your life, the army, you'll automatically just be there 10 minutes early. Copper, punch him in the face. Copper, you're still a copper, you gay. What's the value of a 2-cent coin? What's the value of a 2-cent coin? Copper. A Russian army general was talking shit in an interview the other day, saying that he could take Alaska back in 3 days. The American counterpart replied with, "We look forward to the attempt." Dude, I'm telling you right now, the whole world could unite. Russia, Britain, Australia, every single country you know of, except for the USA, including all the South Americas. We could all unite as one army, one navy, one air force. America would destroy us in a day. They would destroy the world in a day, and there'd be Americans left. What's on their back, Trent? They just want a bit more variety. Playing the old classics. You know, I think there's one of them in Africa where they're, you know how Russians use the Wagner Group, which is like a private organisation that uses criminals and stuff to fight on behalf of the Russian government. Well, they were doing something in Africa and they were surrounding a Marines base, and the Marines said to the Russians, "Why do you have Russian soldiers? You know, this is a threat, this is posturing." And then they said, "Oh, we don't have any Russian soldiers there." And they went, "Oh, sweet." So then they killed. Have a look, you can look this up. The day the Americans killed Russian soldiers, but they said they weren't Russians. Because they were Wagner Group, they weren't Russian soldiers, so he was being technical. So America killed them all, wiped the whole fucking, like thousands of them out. And then rang Putin and said, "Okay, sweet, we know there's no Russians, they're all gone." I know, lucky there was no Russians because they're all dead or something like that. And then they got on the satellites and they killed like 2 or 3 battalions. You've watched that video, right? So you know what I'm talking about, you know. And look at the other one today. The Americans in 1980 something took out Iran's half of their navy in like 6 hours. You know, and the Russians, it's funny because the Russian warship comes into the Gulf and the US are like, we'll take you out too. And they're like, no, we're just here to observe and to watch and to document history. Okay, so the Russians did help out, but they were in it for themselves. Okay, Hitler was pushing on both fronts. He was pushing to get England, because once you got England, that was it. The Western Europe had done. He was also pushing, well, he was trying to push through Russia, but he knew that the Russian and the communists were going to be a hard fight, so he sort of stalemated there, and then got into bed with Japan and said, you know, do you want to join up? And that's when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor and came down through Papua New Guinea and bombed Darwin. Right? So Harry Truman was the president. Europe was going, please help, World War II, please help. He's like, no, fuck off. This is your war. We're not coming over to help again. And then Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, and they went, fuck, now we've got to come and get involved. And then they dropped the 2 atom bombs. And then D-Day with France and the Brits and the Australians, they came into Berlin, and the Russians were squeezing them from the fucking east. From the west. No, east, obviously, east. And then they met in Berlin, right? But it's a really hard story to talk about because the guy in charge of the Russians was a guy called Stalin, okay? And he was a fucking psycho. He killed more Russian soldiers than anybody. What's up, remember me? They were, because the Italians were forced to fight under Mussolini because Mussolini wanted to impress Hitler. But that didn't last 2 minutes. What happened to Mussolini? He ended up being naked in the main street of where he come from, being hung by his own people. That's why Hitler killed himself for cyanide tablets, because he didn't want to be like Mussolini and be, you know, ripped out in front of all the people, to be naked and hanging from a prominent structure in Germany. So the Russians attacked their base. They denied they had Russians in the area. America wiped a lot out. Chris, have you ever thought of being a history teacher at school? I think you would be excellent. No, I haven't, but I think about doing like motivational speaking, like going to year 12s or year 11s or year 10s that are leaving school and saying, and just giving them motivational, you know, to talk about. Yep. That's right. I mean, and the poor Germans, they were just supporting their leader that was passionate, and they all got destroyed, you know, like 13 innocent Germans in Berlin were killed. But we don't talk about that because Hitler were the bad people. But Trent from Punchy should be running Australia, hands down, fucking cheers to Trent, eh? Fucking sick, eh? Who was the other guy in New Zealand? He goes, left my scooter out front of the milk shop, neck minute. Can you answer my questions, or if you don't want to touch on what you really think, bro, that's fine, as I know I know there can be severe consequences for doing so. What's your question, bro? 2 men broke into a drugstore and stole the Viagra. The police put an alert to be on the lookout for 2 hardened criminals. Who the fuck is Trent? Oh, YouTube Trent from Punchy. I don't know if he's an actor or a real guy, but he's got a mullet and he's just acting like full Houso Bogan from years back. Yeah, it was Adam Confidential answer. Yeah, you asked me the question. I'm going back to see if I missed it. Do you agree or disagree that you went to Iraq and also went to Afghanistan under false pretenses? That's a good question. Okay, so do you mean like the main reason why I went to war was because of 9/11? Not really. I joined the army in 95, and when I signed on the dotted line, then I was prepared to give my life for the Australian flag, for Australia and its citizens, the coalition, and anything in Australia's interests. I didn't get behind the politics. When I got to Iraq and I saw that we'd taken out Saddam and his sons, and I saw the relief and the freedom on the faces of the Iraqi people, and they were clapping us and thanking Prime Minister Howard and Tony Blair and George Bush for freeing them from such a dictator. Okay, so I got to saw that, but then, because America destroyed Iraq, Baghdad, and took all the law and order and all of the order out of Iraq, it went crazy. Just like I said, I use the analogy. Imagine Sydney, take out the police, take out any official, any type of government, take out the military, put in the criminals, and put in two extremists like Islam and Sunni and Shiites that hate each other, and it's on. Rapings, robberies, oh my goodness. So I saw that, and then we realised that he was saying that he had weapons of mass destruction because he was scared of Iran that wanted to invade Baghdad, Shiite on Sunni fight. And I went because the Australian government asked me to fight on behalf of our citizens. Okay, so I don't really have an opinion under false pretenses. See, so for me, it wasn't false pretenses. Whether you think it is or not, that's how I thought. And I've always thought if we take the fight to them and occupy them in their own country with their fight, then they don't get to come back and kill innocent Australians, like the Link Cafe siege. And with Afghanistan, I think it was a must. Al-Qaeda represented bin Laden, and we had to show the world that you can't get away with doing what you did. You can't do that. You can't, if you want to declare war, declare war. And then leave it at the soldiers and we meet and then we have a war. Why go and kill innocent civilians? It's cowardly. You're not a man. How can I recognise your religion when you're a fucking coward killing innocent people? So I went to Afghanistan to help the people that the Taliban were persecuting there, to help them learn, teach them how to do, cabinetry, teaching them how to do easy mechanical stuff so that they can get a vehicle and learn how to maintain it. We're building schools and teaching them more than so, because the kids were just learning phrases out of the Quran. So we're trying to teach them English. We were building them bridges across the waterway because they couldn't see their relatives in the summertime because the snow melts and the river's that vast that they're completely dislocated from their family until it freezes again. So we built a bridge. So, and I'm seeing benefit in these people's lives that are just like you and me, Adam Confidential. They just want to live a good life, love our partner, give our kids the best life, better than what we, try and give them better upbringing than we were received. Try and put some money away so you can own your shit and you can retire and make some memories with your mates. That's all you want to do, right? And if you're religious, pray to your God, whoever that may be. And there's thousands of people in Afghanistan like that, but the Taliban come in and throw a fucking weapon in their daughter's face and say, you're going to put on a suicide vest tomorrow and do this. So that's what I answer your question and what my train of thought is. Do it, mate. The kids would love it. Can you answer my question? Who the fuck is Trent? Up about Chris Adamars. About Chris Adamars something. Yeah, I think I got that, didn't I, Jake? Okay. I travelled to Australia the other week. I was passing through immigration. They said to me, do you have a criminal record? I replied, I didn't realise that it was still a requirement to get in. So many questions. Do you agree or disagree you went to Iraq and also went to, as in false flags? No, because Saddam was a true lunatic. He was the only one out of the Arab nation that didn't cross politics and religion. So you lived under the laws that he had, but it wasn't a religious. So it wasn't, like in Saudi Arabia, Iran, Syria, some of these more hardcore places in Lebanon, where what am I trying to say here? Like, they rule with religion first. Religion is part of the, you know what I mean? Like, women can't drive because it's a religious view in Saudi Arabia. It might be better now. When I first guitar back in the early 2000s, I seen a guy open hand beat his woman inside a shopping centre. I wanted to go over there and fucking cave his head in, mate. But we couldn't get involved in their culture wars. I seen him smack a little 5-year-old kid so hard that he slid a couple of metres down the aisle screaming. Like, some of these people needed, they just get treated with shit. Whereas Iraq he was so good at because they had one of the best universities. Fucking talking and hopping. It's the library. Plus I've got a bit of a flu too, that's why my voice is funny. Like, they had one of the best universities in downtown Baghdad with Western professors, and you could walk along the Tigris River and the Babylon River and sit down and have fish and chips on the river like you would in Australia. It's just Saddam had these things like his sons would like personal prostitutes, and if it was your sister or your wife and he saw you out shopping with your wife, he would take your wife forever, and she would be a sex slave to him. And he'd build buildings and filled these buildings with men's brothers and sisters and wives. He was present at a man and wife getting married at a function where he just happened to be walking past. I went upstairs and fucked the wife and threw the husband off the 3-story balcony and killed him in front of all the bride and the groom's family. If Saddam had a motorade in Baghdad and he pulled out and you were the first car behind the motorade, they'd publicly, and put this all over his TV, they'd publicly arrest you and then put you in a prison and pistol whip you every day. Like, I met guys with their heads, I didn't know what it was. It looked like chunks of, like someone being burned, dropping hot wax on their heads. I said, what's that from? They're like, from being pistol whipped by pistols every day in a prison cell. So, and then when we got to them, they were like, thank fuck, this dictatorship's gone. But we didn't resolve any law. But if we managed the law, instead we went, well, the Shiites are better than the Sunnis, which was the Ba'ath Party, Saddam. But the Shiites got power in 2004, and what do they want to do? They wanted to fucking oppress the Sunnis. It's our turn to fuck you guys over. So, and to me, a false flag, I don't know. What do you think of that? And you can ask me more if you want me to go into more depth. I really don't mind. I'll talk about anything. Absolutely anything. What is it? Oh, the bottom one?
Yeah.
Hang on. Put it down here, sorry.
Don't break it. Did you just fucking break that?
I hope not.
Just wait. I might be able to use it while it's out.
Hey? Coffee time. Here in Australia. What do you mean?
Turns to the left. Yeah.
Which one?
Look, yep, open it like normal. Hang on. Is that
What?
a screw on there? Oh no, that's
No.
just a filter.
Hang on. Why is it so fucking hard? That's fucked up. I might need to get a pair of something on that, eh?
Okay.
Sorry guys, just helping the missus out. Sorry, in Australia, yes I am, sorry. Favourite song? I've got a bunch. Red Hot Chili Peppers is By the Way or Under the Bridge. I Was Only 19 by Red Gum. anything from Tom McDonald, Adam Calhoun, Shook One. I like Dax, To Be a Man. Have you tried Italian coffee on the stove? No, I haven't. Don't want to open it up, jar of jam. Nah, so, because see, we're not hooked up on my property here. We're not hooked up to mains water because we were in the middle of the bush, middle of nowhere on 4 acres. So we harvest our own water off our roof when it rains. So I run a filter on the tap, put hot water on it. Joe said to put some hot water on it.
Kettle's boiling.
Mel said the kettle's on. Hey, legend, love the channel. Adam, g'day Cameron. Hey mate, Adam Cameron. G'day buddy. So is Meow Meow there? Who should I look at to what should I do to get a bit more of a gist of Luke Irwin? I can't believe that fucking Pato just messaged me that before. It's crazy. Who reckon this one? I like this on the flag. Get this shit out. Oh, here, look. Now check this out, bro. Look at the flag. How cool does that look? Sorry, I'm just fucking around here. Sorry, guys, I'm just fucking around. You're a night owl, eh? No, well, I don't work, mate, so I'm fully retired. Every day's Sunday for me, even though I say that, I still got shit I gotta do. So, I find Thursday nights, Friday nights, and Saturday nights are the best night for me to go live because I can just stay up. Most people have those days off. Thanks for your service, Chris. Peace out. Catch you later. There's no worries, Andrew. Like I said, any questions or anything, I'll probably be uploading a few more crazy videos today, but I appreciate your support and hanging out. Cheers, bud. Adam Cameron, I used to know Adam Cameron in the army, eh? I swear. Blah, 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 blah. Just making sure I'm getting all the chats. Yeah, so. Oh, who else is in the chat? 16 still on? Oh, baby girl. Oh, baby. Yeah, boy. Actually, I'll bring. Hi, Adam. What are you doing, bro? Real quickly. What are you doing? Where are you? And Adam, thank you for your service, mate. I appreciate you. Everyone else, if you see that, thank Adam for his service. Devros! My boy! Thanks, babe. This is some of the shit that I've got to upload.
Hello guys, how are you?
Some of my videos, bro. That's what I've got to get, that thumb drive. I've got so many photos. So many. This is where I get all my photos from, off my thumb drive, guys. Fuck 'em. There you go, see. That's our base in TK. This is the base. One of the fobs. That's some Afghan National Army we're training up. You can see the huts out there. That's an Apache taken off. I'm going to put all these photos up. That's the only barrier stopping us from getting attacked from the Taliban coming over in the masses. What do you do, Adam? What do you do, bro? When did you join? Did you have the opportunity to serve in the Middle East? Oh, they're just big, massive bags that we fill full of sand or rock, and they can take massive hits, like rocketry and high reservist. Yeah, I train reservists, mate. Oh, your transport, yeah, bloody oath, we need everybody. That's a scan eagle close up. These are just all photos that I just have randomly on my drive. Me in the back of a Chinook. Looking out the Chinook. See, these are all my own photos. Out the side of the Chinook. The green zones. You can literally see where the water stops, it just turns to desert. More of the green zones, just looking from the villages look for. That's in the back of the fucking Chinook.
Don't forget your cover. Let's do the sparing one. Washing done. Fix up your tray of shit.
Is it this fob here? Yeah, this is Salk Bid. This is fob Salk Bid. Give you an idea. This is where we had one of our worst green on blues. What do you do with these HESCOs? Do you leave them there when you guys go? No, we tried not to. We tried to take everything with us. You know, we pride ourselves on that. Okay, so see this place here? Shit. Hang on, bear with me. Okay. How too white to. Did those sunnies, Aussie chick that I'm wearing, Mel hasn't caught your pussy yet. Is she okay? Mel hasn't called me pussy yet. Is she okay? Or did I miss it? Or did I miss it? Nah, Mel's always calling me that. Okay, so this is Salkbid. This is one of the patrol bases in the middle of the what we call Wally, what we would call the desert. Okay, and see this. I don't know what this is going to look like with me. But this is the Australian compound, and this is the Afghanistan National Army compound. Does that make any sense? No, green on blue is when you're like, so the Afghan National Army isn't really part of the coalition forces, but it isn't the Taliban, and we're trying to train them up to be independent. Okay, so if the Afghan National Army fucking accidentally fire on us or deliberately fire on us, they're not a coalition and they're not enemies, so we call them green and we're blue, so it's green on blue. A blue on blue would be if we killed an American or if we got an Australian got into it with a British soldier or anyone from the coalition would be a blue on blue, and then you have red on blue, which is the enemy. And our burst green on blue was we were training Afghans, and they were marching it, they were finishing. Okay, so they were finishing their deployment of about 8.5 months of training these Afghan National Army how to fight and live and what mateship's about and how to do something, become a better, bigger purpose. And so they'd finished, and usually become pretty good friends because you sort of take on one Afghan and he sort of follows you and you teach him everything you are as a soldier, right? So on the last day, they were respecting each other. They lined up and they were sort of doing like a, we're off. Thank you very much for everything you've taught us. One of the Afghans was actually a Taliban sleeper. He managed to get through all the vetting and did all the training. And on the last day, he did a 30-round burst into the Australians that were lined up, and he killed a cook, a transporter, and a Q store guy. But all the other 80 Australians that were there, they all had their rifles, and they all cocked and racked their weapons at the same time. This guy ended up dying with about 350 bullet wounds in him, but he still killed 3 of our guys, and that's called a blue on green. And they just, it's such fuck because they didn't die fighting, they didn't die, you know what I mean? They died doing a ceremonial parade and got caught out by this fucking giving these cunts a bit too much. Did you ever have orders to follow that you disagree with but had to do it? Yeah, Jack, heaps. But I'm a professional, and I always did what they asked me to because the leader, I don't know what's in the leader's head, whether I agree with it or not. I do it, and then later on when we finish everything and we do like a debrief, I'll say, fuck, I wasn't happy with that, and then he'll explain why or what. Fuck, man, I thought he killed about 10. Who are you talking about? Story about the guy coming in killing a dozen Americans. I'm not too sure of all of America's green on blues. But we had another one in Mirrorwise where my soldier was involved and they were playing Texas Hold'em. And it was about 10:30 at night and there was 4 guys left. And the guy was dealing where I am, and there was a guy sitting here, and a guy sitting here, then a guy sitting where my phone is, where you are, looking at me. And then over to the right was a tent where all the Australians were sleeping and all the boys that had finished poker had gone to bed. And this Afghani came back from a patrol and he went straight at the poker game and did a 30-round mag with his AK-47 into the card game. And the dude dealing was one of our soldiers. And the 2 guys next to him got shot. One got shot in the throat and died. The other guy got shot in the heart. And the dude that was in front of him, like where I'm sitting, got shot in the back of the head, and his face came across onto my soldier's face. And then he's gone and racked another magazine and shot into where all the Australians were sleeping on the stretchers. By now, Australians are running out, wondering what the fuck's going on, diving for cover. A few other guys got their, like one dude got his thumb shot off, another dude had got 3 or 4 shots in his right arm, he couldn't move. And then he threw his gun down, jumped over the fence and legged it. And then we ended up getting an SAS patrol, 2 SAS guys come and dropped in. And then got a photo of what the guy looked like, and they were trying to chase him, but it took us 2.5 years to get that guy, but we got him. That's right. So an Afghan interpreter, blue and green, that's right. Because he's an interpreter, so he's come to work with us. And the Australian guys that come and work, we give them an Australian uniform, because the minute they look, when you're on a patrol, anyone that looks out, they'll snipe him because he's an interpreter. He's the worst kind of Muslim, right? Chris, I've got to charge the mobile. I'll see you next time. Thanks for popping in, Aussie chick, man. What's your name anyway? I appreciate you always here. You're always here for a good laugh. I appreciate you supporting me. Thanks, mate. Thanks, Aussie chick. You're the best. Want some more chicks like you? Just like my missus, mate. Down to earth. Good chick. Is there anything else I missed? No, because then you got the Americans that had, like, if you listen to Operation Red Wing, where they lost the whole Chinook, I think 30 Navy SEALs in one hit. YouTube one. Yeah, Afghan interpreter, blue and green on. Yeah. I'll tell you the story, bro. I nearly killed 2 Afghan National Army guys. I'm in patrol. So you know the one where they've got the photo, no respawns past this joint? That patrol base is called Forward Operating Base Wali. Okay, I'm in Wali and I'm sleeping in a canvas tent, which is pretty dangerous because rockets just come straight through them, right? And there's 20 stretchers in this tent, but it's just me and this captain that I'm working with. We're doing a secret job that no one else knows about, and we're going to FOBs and we're doing. I'll talk about it another time exactly what my job was. And so I'm laying down in this tent, and it's about probably 10 metres long, and I'm down one end and my other mate's down the other end, right? I have many Afghan mates. They're good and evil, you know. There's good and evil. Oh, yeah, I totally agree. By no means am I bagging the Afghans. No, not at all. I feel sorry for most of them because they just want to try and live and pray to their God that they love, but they're just getting pulled one way to another from Al-Qaeda, Taliban, ISIS, you know. So I don't despise anybody. I just hate extremist terrorists or anyone that exploits people that can't help themselves. Anyway, so I'm asleep and it's about 1 in the morning. And I wake up to these 2 guys right there talking in Arabic, dressed in black with AK-47s. And I'm like, fuck, underneath my stretcher is my rifle, right? So my rifle's under my stretcher, but I've gone to sleep. I've put my 9mm Browning high power, I put it under my webbing. And so I've grabbed that and I've racked it, and I'm in my bed like this, pointing at this guy's chest, going, what the fuck, who the fuck, what the fuck, cunt? At the same time, my mate that's in the other end of the tent, he's jumped out of bed and he's grabbed his thigh and he's on top of the stretcher in a firing position, mate. And he's got the other guy in his sights and he's just let me know that he's on. We come this close to killing these 2 lads. They just happened to walk into the wrong tent and were startled. But, you know, this is right when we're having green on blues. And these guys were legitimately good Afghani, National Army guys, that just walked into the wrong tent. But we've nearly become this close to fucking topping those 2 guys, man. It was one of my most full-on experiences because I just woke up to these guys standing over me with AK-47s and I was like, oh my God, I'm fucked. So there's that story. I mean, when it comes to races, how competent in general were the Afghans that we were training? Not very good at all. Not really good at all. It's for starters, they can have hash, they're smoking hash, right? They deal with themselves, their general daily life over there. They're on, you know, smoking marijuana and hash, and a lot of them, some of them are taking the poppy, milk of the poppy, you know, what we would call probably heroin, but it's a different type of form, just to deal with their fucking, the hard conditions and the arduous conditions. If you ever look at my videos, I've got one video of Afghan life of just kids playing around for a few minutes, so you can just give you an idea of the environment that these kids are brought up in. And what you're seeing is just hardness, then add the war, then add in, you know, Sunni Shiite, and add in this and add in that. Man. So, the Afghans weren't very competent. Lots of times in the middle of the firefight, some of them would drop their rifles and run the opposite way, mate, leave their mates there. Yeah, I did. Oh, yeah, I've been in millions of tanks. APCs, Bushmasters, Lavs. I've been in heaps. Opium. I suppose opium, yeah. Because what they do is they cut the poppy seeds and they get like a handkerchief or a piece of material and they just dab it and dab it and dab it and dab it and dab it until this thing's wet, and they sort of squeeze it out and smoke that stuff, I think. I try to stay away from those people because they just tell you what you want them to hear.
Damn it.
And if you see on my on the cover of this photo, the thumbnail that I took for this live, that's the actual gun tower where I had a soldier up on gun picket, and he got shot at with an RPG, and the RPG he was sitting in on his chair mining a 50 caliber, protecting the fob, and we'd ripped some mould seats out of a Bushmaster that was blowing up, and we used those seats for something to sit on while you're on picket. And this fucking dude shot an RPG that went through the top of the fucking the picket tower, the gun tower, went through the foam in the back of the chair he was sitting on, which pushed him forward, went out the other side of the gun tower, and then went another 300 or 400 metres and then detonated in the mountain beside him. That should have detonated the minute it hit anything solid. That's an RPG. And it happened in that gun tower that I've put on as a fucking thumbnail for this live. It just reminded me, his name's Barnes. He was so lucky. He just got lucky. What weapons were you training them to use? We were training them to use their own AK-47. And for the guns, it was the Russian, is it the RPG, RPK, or RPK, whatever the heavy machine gun is. We're just mainly teaching them what Adam, you're a transporter, so you'd know infantry minor tactics. You know, smoke opium out there. I haven't tried it, but yeah. Afghan people, they have been invaded by 3 superpowers and all 3 retreated. Do you know the history? Maybe you agree or disagree, but look what they did to Russia. I totally agree, mate. Like the Cold War, when Russia and the Cuban Missile Crisis with America, but in the meantime, Russia decided to come down and take Afghanistan. But the reason why Afghanis were also so potent in fighting the Russians was that the CIA was working with the Mujahideen and Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan to defeat Russia, because Russia was the Americans' enemy. So they got into bed with the Taliban and Al-Qaeda back in the 80s and gave them things like Stinger missiles that could take out the Russian Cobra gunships. If you look at Rambo 3, when Rambo's fighting with the Mujahideen against, in the desert, and he's fighting against all the Russians, that's like sort of what happened. The CIA was fighting with the Afghanis to beat the Russians. And then we see what the problem is the Tora Bora, the mountains. They go into the mountains and they can hide in there. And even our best weapons, I've seen the biggest Moabs dropped on those mountain ranges, and all it does is make the mountain range shiny. It doesn't blow it up. And we've killed millions, hundreds of thousands of terrorists over there and in Iraq. Like, now there's no more original Afghani-born Taliban left, or Pakistani. They're getting them from Qatar, Saudi Arabia, extremists from Europe to come and fight and sign up. Yeah, I just joined the live. What's going on? Oh, mysterious. We're talking about all crazy shit here. I'm a returned soldier from Australian Army, 22 years. Done a few tours of Afghan and Iraq, and we're just talking politics and all sorts of cool stuff. What do you think about that YouTube one? Does that answer your question?
located, and all 3 retreated. Mysterious real stories from a real soldier. Yeah, USA gave them containers of weapons, funded the war. Right. Just like when Trump was in and he said to Iran, if you don't make nukes, we'll let you be a nation. If you make nukes, I'll fucking have you. And then Biden got in and said, oh, no, we'll give you $6 billion to pay you money so you make sure you don't buy nukes because you don't need to, you're not a threat, here's $6 billion. And then they give that to different terrorist organisations. So Hezbollah has funded Hamas through that money that Joe Biden gave them. They would have thrown some money to any Shiite, because Iran, the Persians, they're Shiites and they don't really get on with the Sunnis. And that's another thing you got to get used to as a soldier in the Middle East, is that not only are you fighting Islam, but Islam itself is fighting each other. Sunnis are fighting Shiites, and then you have family wars, like the Abdel Makhabids on the south side of fucking Afghan has a family war with the Abdul Makhabids on the northern side of Afghanistan, like we did in TK. Like one day, the biggest detonation that I ever was near. Do you know any stories about Libya? There's a lot of controversy about that with the Clinton family. Libya, who was the dictator there that got taken out? I haven't done much Libya, mate, no. The Australians, we've never been really much involved with that. That's more of an American Green Beret type job, Libya. They did. Who was the third superpower? YouTube, but I mean, technically, we could have easily taken over Afghan. If you're saying that nobody's ever beaten them, Gaddafi. That's right. Gaddafi got what he fucking deserved, mate. He got what he deserved. Yeah, Libya again. It's just poor people, mate, being exploited. Yeah, Jack. Make sure you keep drinking water throughout the night, buddy. I'll be thinking of you, mate. Text me in the morning, see how you're going. Yeah, so. Night, Jack.
Holy shit,
What was that?
because there's nothing on that.
It just spurted out the top.
Yeah, Gaddafi. So, no, I know a little bit about the history and the politics of Libya, but I've never been a part of that myself. Whereas when I was in Afghan, I was not learning a lot about the politics, where they come from. I learned that Afghanistan is really in Arabic as land of the tribes. Because you still have, like, you have 3 people. You have Al Qaeda and Taliban. Then you have just Afghani nationalists who just want to live and just do their thing. And then you have caravans, Afghani caravans, that are wandering nomadic families of about a group of 100 with camels and horses and donkeys, and they're literally just following the seasons around where the water is and what's growing, and they want nothing to do with any of the fighting, and do tend to be left out of it. But we still come across them, and when we come across them, we try to interrogate them to find out what they know and who else have they come across a fighting force like us. In the early days of Russia and the USA. Yeah, see, and like I learned, if you own the airspace, you dominate the battle space, right? Americans are, right, look how many different jets they got. Most nations have 1 or 2 jets. They usually have a jet that delivers ordnance and a jet that's good for fighting in the air, for dogfighting.
Okay.
America, they've got F-35, F-22 Raptors, they've got F-16, F-18, F-15, Hornets, carriers, Warthogs, B-52 bombers. Like, the people around the world think that the fastest and most manoeuvrable jet is going to be the one that wins a dogfight, when it's not the case at all. Have you noticed China and America and Russia are going faster, faster, faster? They've got these jets that can do X amount of speed. Whereas America hasn't worried about top speed of jets. It's about radar capability, what you can see and what you can't see. Because you can go as fast as you want, but what's that to anybody if you can't see your enemy? and the F-35 or is it the F-22 comes up on a, like, it doesn't even come up on radar, it comes up on a really sensitive radar as big as a bumblebee. What about the stories about soldiers coming and speaking about major corporations setting up pipelines in the Iraq War, stealing billions of dollars of natural resources? What are you talking about there, oil? I mean, he was smart. The Ba'ath Party, like most of the oil where Saddam was making his money, is on fire. And we can't put them out. They'll burn forever. I mean, that oil needs to be used, right? So it still needs to be a commodity. Maybe they could get it going and push the profits into Iraq to help rebuild Baghdad and Fajura and Mosul and all the places we decimated. Yeah. You know, I seen the CIA set up in the desert in Iraq. I wonder what they were doing there. And also I saw the CIA set up in the poppy fields of Afghan as well. You know. Did you see the contractors setting up for pipelines and oil? I did not see that, mate, but I wouldn't put it past me. Most of the contractors I only saw, like Blackwater, you know, doing defence contracts. You know, we'd have a pile of food come in, instead of using a military force to protect that food convoy, we'd hire ex-soldiers from, or special forces soldiers that were with this company called Blackwater. You know about the Blackwater soldiers that were ripped out of their cars naked and hung naked from the, you know, burnt and bashed and hung naked from the main drag in Baghdad. Also on the show, they showed this hypersonic missile that hit a moving vehicle, and apparently just before it hits the vehicle, it pops out of 4 metal blades and apparently can take out everyone but the driver. Is that real? No, it will take out everyone in that car. It's just America being playing around with their different hubble words. They have this speaker that they can hit you with this sound wave that literally vibrates the atoms of your body, and you literally disintegrate from your atoms vibrating so violently. But it's against the Geneva Convention to use it. You know, America has protected their airspace with a company called Metal Storm, which is firing objects with a magnetic electronic shot, so electricity. And they have them in satellites, so that if North Korea or someone like that decided they get one of these hyper missiles and send it to the US, they have these satellites that are right there that can shoot these missiles out from above and they send out like a king-sized bed of lead, and it just destroys the warheads, like completely just obliterates the warheads there and then above the, at worst case, Pacific Ocean. If not, they're that good and sensitive, they'll take them out as they're taking off from the country they're being fired from. Yeah, no, so you can't be persistent with the driver like that, no way. Not with those blades. You can't control where the blades are going to go on the inside. Most times too, the driver is not somebody you'd want to keep alive anyway, because the driver's low down in the in the list of baddies that you want to try and get. The driver usually is out of the loop. There's only usually one person in the vehicle, usually in the passenger seat, that is the vital, or what we call the high value target. The rest are just protecting him. What about Albert? And apparently Cheney is the owner of these military weapons vehicles. He would have made plenty. Dick Cheney, I met that guy. I met Donald Rumsfeld. I met Colin Powell, and I shook George Bush's hand, George W. Bush. He actually pulled me in and thanked me. Thanks for your contribution. I appreciate you coming down here. But the Clintons, evil as people on the planet. Fucking Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, evil, horrible. I mean, the Bushes aren't that bad. I mean, the Bushes are just oil tycoons, but the Clintons, I mean, the Bushes were rich before they even got into the Senate, into the life of politics, whereas the Clintons weren't. The Clintons made their money off the back of the White House, and now they have one of the biggest. And President Bush, he was all right. George Bush, he flew the guitar and shook my hand, and Johnny Howard shook my hand and said, thanks for going into Iraq, you know. And George Bush, I think, was just acting on his Pentagon. You know, if we take out Bin Laden, we also have to take out Saddam Hussein. But is what's his name on here? So I'm just going through the things here.
Hey, Dad,
Yeah.
did you buy more bread?
No, I didn't. I forgot. I'm just going through the comments again. Those Texans are real cowboys, crazy and greedy. Yeah, but I mean, wouldn't you be if you owned an oil field? Like, you know, you're not doing anything crazy. It's just like, you know, a miner in Australia owning a mine. You just hope that they use their money. And what did I think about 7-Eleven? What's 7-Eleven? What is in the server, or do you mean September 11? September 11, when they crashed the planes into the Twin Towers. Oh, this is a can of worms. So many people think it's a conspiracy theory. But I'm telling you, America didn't need to do that to invade two countries. All they needed to do was down an American Airlines plane in a paddock with 200 American citizens on it and say that it was taken over by terrorists. That would have been enough for them to move. You know, look what they did to Pearl Harbor. Japan really didn't do much when they dropped in Pearl Harbor. They smashed a Navy vessel, a port, and killed a few people, Navy people, right, that were part of the Navy military personnel. Then what happened? America went and dropped 2 atom bombs on their country. You know what I mean? Like, they just want to thank you for your service. Take care and have a good night. No worries, YouTuber, mate. I hope I answered the questions. How old are you, buddy? How old are you, YouTube one? Are you Australian? Yeah, I don't think it was a conspiracy. I don't think. I mean, there's so much footage of the plane actually flying into the towers. You know, and we found through intelligence, through caches in Afghanistan, them funding and training those pilots to conduct those missions. You know, because how big a martyrs they were going to become in the world of Islam. There's 11 people here. If you're still here, put a 1 in the comments, or is it just people turn 1? Yeah. Ah, Adam's still here, mate. What are you doing in Civvy Street, Adam, when you're not doing reserve stuff, mate? You know, I was telling you about the, remember how I was telling you about the Navy SEALs chasing those guys in a pair of shorts up the hill? This is where it was from. Let me bring the photo up. This is the gym. This is the gym we're in, Mirror-wise. And you can see the mountain in the background. Oh, you can't, let me... Yeah, you go above the roof. See that mountain in the background? That's where they'll chase them. This is the gym we're in when they'll fire them down from that mountain. Here's another version of it. There you go. That's the gym we're in Mirror-wise. That's me on the right there. I'm just having a bit of a quiet day. You know, a bit of a lazy day. I'm just trying to show you some of this stuff that I forgot I even had, you know. Oh, really? Got a office worker, yeah, bro. How's things going at your joint, Mel, and the kids and everything? Yeah, okay, mate. We're going all right, Davros. Here we go. Wouldn't mind showing you this. This is the blimps I was talking about. See that there? We'd send that up 1 kilometre, and on the bottom of that is a camera system you've never ever seen in your life. We could see the details of your face at 20 kilometres, and we used to sit that up there, and they used to try and shoot this off. That blimp. See that shit? I'm just trying to see what else I've got here for you.
Gotta run that for 5 minutes.
Huh?
Have to run that for 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, to get the charcoal out of it. So this is what it looked like inside the rooms that the boys slept in. This is inside hardened accommodation because rockets are dropping around us all the time. So, you know, there's 7 guys living in this room. See? There you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 beds just in that picture. Then behind me is another 4. Oh, that's when I first got there. She was a bit chilly. That's like the main drag of their patrol base.
I've got a timer on.
Yeah, so that's like the very main drag of the biggest fob we have over there. This was some Dutch guys. They died just after this. These lads did. Rest in peace. Because they were driving soft-skin vehicles made into IEDs. Yeah, those lads died not long after this photo. You see all the antennas and stuff. Fuck, sorry guys. Here you go, this is the range that we just fire our weapons on. This is what we test fire our weapons on before we leave. That's all the, look at that, that's all range produce that we just use and dump over the wall. So that's like, you know, 84 grenades, gold tops. That's what it looks like. So to the left there, you can see the wall where we stand on and fire, and that's all the rubbish that's just left there from shooting. That's how much just ammunition, rubbish you get with ammunition. And the targets that we put out the fire against, so we can line our test our fire our targets and stuff. My mate Gazy, he was in doing a fire mission right above us there. Afghanis, they're the guys that we had green on blues with, they're the guys that were training. Yeah, so see, I've sort of go through all those photos here, and I forgot I even had them. I've been in hospital for the last 2 days with one kidney acting like pussy. I'm home now. Oh, would you have kidney stones or something, Davros? I'm still wearing my fucking outfit from what the terrorists wear. What a crack. What a fucking crack. I think this is a photo of that's the runway we used to land on. How many of you have ever landed on a dirt runway? And you can see those like, white buildings in the middle there? Those, oh shit, sorry. Those domes, they're full of Apaches. Yeah, so, and whereabouts is Adam? Whereabouts are you, office worker? Where are you in Perth, did you say, Adam? Whereabouts? And how long have you been doing reserves, mate? I've got nothing against reservists. I think they're good to go. In fact, they sacrifice a lot because they're doing their normal job, and then after hours they're doing their second job. I've trained reservists, yeah. Everywhere in Perth and Wagga Wagga. Oh shit, I missed some fucking things. I love gold tops. 40 mil Mike Mine case up, guys. Debbie! Oh, look, I'm wearing a bloody... This is what I used to give Taliban fighters when we locked them up in jail. This is one of the suits we'd give them. I'm wearing it because I wanted to see it. Yeah, bro, I was live before. I had 140 people watching. Oh, true, were you? I didn't even know. I just went live. I didn't know. I would have come and hung out with you guys. Do you think American soldiers will end up fighting in Ukraine? No way. No way. I lasted 10 hours and just had to go to the Aussie Wagga. I'm sure you've been here. I was a recruit instructor for 2 years in Wagga, Adam. Roughly, I kept one awesome. I had a quick look at dudes, but had bail. Oh, I didn't even know, Turpy, that you were on, mate. I didn't even check. I was doing stuff with my family, and then I just went, oh, fuck, I'll just go live at 8:30, see who's around. I didn't even put a warning out or anything, so the fact that anyone even seen it surprised me. How good was it, Turpy? I might have to do a rewatch. Is anyone else going on after? What time is it now? Midnight. Fuck. Had a quick look at it, and I'll see how many people. Is that the most you had, Turpy? What was your subject? What was bringing everybody in, you reckon? Anything and everything, yeah, sick. Did you have that one that hook still where use steam, whatever it is, where you can have other people come up, or was it just you terps? Who's that? Who's that you're talking about, Davros? My missus. In that case, I'd have to agree. A panel, okay. I've got to do that. Oh, really? Did she come up and part of the panel and everybody was just like crushing her questions or something like that? After we watch it. When you had 140, I had like 10 people. I don't mind though. Everyone's interacting. Oh, nice one. This is some of the stuff in Afghan, some of the kids' stuff I was talking about. This is one of those like little school desks that we made and stuff for them. Yeah, Terps, that would be great. Yeah, so it's on that thumb drive over there next to the frog. I didn't even know. I did know, but I just forgot about this stuff, you know. Then doing their verses out of the Quran. I'm sure we'll always try to fuck this and random shit. Showing me how hard it is, like. Well, they didn't have brooms. And this is their iPad playing dice. I wonder if we've got anything on, I can't remember. But yeah, so this is, yeah, just going through some videos there, just crazy, just bringing back a bunch of memories, you know. Like this rock, when I was digging in patrol base TK in Afghan, this rock just landed at my feet, and look at it, it's a perfect love heart. So I kept that, wrote a message it and sent it to Mel, you know, it's a little sentimental. It says, babe, this rock was in TK. It popped out at my feet just like you, my rock. Isn't that cool? Actually, for the first time, scroll through. That's awesome, very good cause. Yeah, yeah, I missed a few today. What else? What was on the live streams there, Davros? I've never done that really. See if this is a good one, probably. See, this is what we built. This is that used to walk 5Ks to get water, and then we put that in for them. A water pump in the centre of the village. That's awesome, very good cause. That's a cool message. What's a cool message? What's this? Oh, it's Bud Lee. How you going, buddy? See, so that's the gun tower there. That gun tower right there was the one that my dig was sitting in when an RPG went through the back of his chair. Oh, hang on a second. Hang on a second. Sorry guys, I'm just looking at something. Fuck's sake. There's mortars being fired.
How's that? Good, man.
Okay, so mortar can travel out to, it's 5395, so 5.3 kilometres to the furthest. And the closest we can drop them is 50 metres in front of us. That's a sunset, look at that. I'm just seeing what I've got in here for the first time. I forgot about all this stuff. Just one rare night it rained. This is what a fob looks like when you live in one.
I don't know if you can hear the sound or not. This is just one of our Uber lifts that we order. There's a gun tower that my mate got shot at, the RPG. I went through his back, and he survived. See, this guy here's the number one. He's riding the base plate. He's watching the mortar coming up. Now, if your head's above this when you fire it, you'll start bleeding from your nose and your eyes, bro. That dude, that funny cams, is a yank. There you go, that's the cleaner.
How's that? Good, man.
Okay. No, Adam, he didn't get shot in the back with an RPG. He was sitting, we'd taken some seats out of the Bushmaster, and he was sitting on these seats, and the backrest of the seat, the RPG came through between his back and the frame of the seat and ripped all that foam out, but the velocity of it pushed him forward onto the gun. And he kept going out the other side of the gun tower and then blew up in the mountain about 300 metres behind him. So he never got shot in the back, but he got shot like it literally went within this close to his back and pushed him forward. It should have detonated the minute it hit that chair and should have blew the whole gun tower up, but he got fucking lucky, man. This is just what a fob looks like, an Australian fob. Always got your gun tower from the likely enemy approach. And this is the fence. This is like 3 metres high, full of rocks. It can take a few RPG hits. Oh yeah, he's counting his lucky stars.
Yeah,
So that's what we live in, see? This is it, like tiny little compounds in the middle of nowhere.
yeah, it's digital. 12 megapixel.
If you see this, I say bonsai.
How much is one $2,000 with twin lenses and stuff. Yeah, the lenses are the most expensive part.
No, this is like a sunset. I can't remember a sunset. Oh shit! This is me firing the M79, test firing the Wombat gun with the 44 mics. I'm firing this out to 350 metre. A doom sight, yeah, man. So Boom, see that explosion? That's where I just landed it right on the trailer at 350. Just this one night I'll give a live pre-make it for a certain day. I'll send you the invite. Once you get done, you'll get to meet a few people. And yeah, I'd love to do that, Derpy. Can you want to give you an idea of some of the machine guns in the background? All I'm doing here is test firing my sidearm 9mm Brown high power. Yeah, it's a 9mm Browning, high power it's called, my sidearm. Has a muzzle velocity of about 400 meters per second.
There you go.
No worries, Spud. Thanks for popping over, mate. I appreciate it. My man Wild Bull Bar from up at... Oh, this is coming into Oman. Yeah, just out the window. Oh, the leg that we stitched up, one of my soldier's legs. What? Oh, it's because I've got it on video file. Ah, fuck, sorry guys. Sorry guys, I'm just fucking trying to find something for you to see. Again, photos. Oh, here we go. The stitching job we did. What do you reckon? Not a bad job? Not a bad job, if I do say so myself. Yeah. That's us stitching that up. That's a Kiowa. You want to see an Apache gunship up close? There you go, see that gun out there? It is hooked up to the pilot's head, wherever he turns his head. He identifies targets and uses it as full of Hellfire missiles. There you go, I can go on the gun a bit more here. Oh shit, sorry. Anyway, get the picture. So that's an Apache gunship right there. One of the most feared things in the world. That's one of the most feared pieces of machinery in the world, mate. Yep.
Yep, that's a fence. It's got all sorts of technology in it. It's got these things that go out to 40 metres that can detect your footsteps in the ground before you even touch the fence. Yeah, so that's what I was firing them for. But I'm just reading the comments. I need a couple of those on patrol. Take your time with a sense of urgency. That's who I used to box with. The Devil's Guard Boxing. That was the club I used to box with, man. Yeah, no worries, Adam. Thanks for popping in, man. I appreciate you. I'm trying to find this cool photo here. Just one sec. Get that family photo out. That's me and Mel and the kids on Magnetic Island after we got married going jet skiing on a jet ski ride. One of my favourite photos right here. This is of me and Mel. Me. There you go. That's our wedding day. August 15th, 2009, the day we got married. Just before I went to Afghan for the first time. Same place, Magnetic Island, Davros. There we are. Just all our wedding photos. Because Mel and I had our first time together, proper having a date was New Year's Eve of 97, 96, 97. And we went to Magnetic Island, so we decided we'd go there to get married. Just before I was going away to war in 2010. Yeah, so just trying to find this one here. What's that? See me? What do you mean? Yeah, I suppose. You can see this is where a 107mm rocket came in during the night, and you can't see, but you can see the shrapnel holes. It is a pussy. Dutch, that's why it's Dutch. This is the back of one of our vehicles. This is where it landed on the Australian reef, see that? Oh, it's really hard to see, but that's where one of the rockets landed. I thought everyone had died. I'll tell you about that story one time. 97 Turpy when you and Mrs. got together. Wow, that's awesome, man. That's rare. Rare as. Fuck.
Like the side of it, like a line of 5 nurses, and you. Yeah, man, I'm here. I accidentally had, on my phone just died. Yeah. Oh, it's still going and everything, that's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Sorry about that, guys. The is everything okay? At least where is that? The horses, that was a McDonald's line. When Just Us finishes, I'll go to bed. I'm 3 hours behind over here, just don't remember my life. Not to be a jack cunt, that's right. You guys know Wayne Ice Adventures on YouTube. He's coming to stay in mine for a few days, it's not true. Fuck it. Holes. Yeah, Turpy, so how many of the crew was over there, you know, from Patos and 420 Mob and that, mate, when you were doing your thing? I just got it on the big camera now to see what happened. Yeah, so
He's here. Put a one. Put a one in the chat if you're there. Still wearing my terrorist outfit. Allah Akbar. Davros. Yeah, my phone ran out of charge, bro. I plugged it in, turned it on, it just started, it gets straight into the screen. Yeah. Allah Akbar.
Yeah, man.
You know what they're saying when they say that? When they say Allah Akbar? What they're actually saying? They are saying, God is great, glory to God. Yeah, so Allah Akbar, they're yelling out, God is great, God is great, God is great. They're coming into it. It's like their war cry. They all yell it. When you hear someone screaming Allah Akbar, right behind it is usually a detonation, a loud, big one. But sometimes they get so G'd up and they're obviously running on this adrenaline and they're scared that when they're running into the crowd, sometimes they do it too early and they detonate too early and then they end up fucking themselves up and maybe injuring a few people. Are you still there, Turpy, or did you like it? I'm on my own God, just under the miso. I used to say that. I'm my own God, I believe in myself, therefore I'll make my own path, my own. But then people say, what about good and bad? Because where did that come from, to be a good person? Because if you look at nature doesn't care whether you're good or bad. A pack of lions don't go over and beat up another lion because he just ate that lioness's cubs so that he can fuck her and have his own. No one cares. The gorillas that go and kill another gorilla, all the other gorillas don't hold a committee against that gorilla. They don't care. It's obvious around us that nature is, survival of the fittest. So why is it if I go next door, kill the dude and take his resources for myself, that'd be just what nature is. But yet we know that's bad. I wonder where that come from. This is a Buddhist, that's enough religion for both of us. And Buddhists, what do they believe in? Meditation, calm, being kind. The simple, easy life, right? got a crazy storm coming over right now. Oh, that's one thing you can do with the jungle and set your alarm, set your time, mate, to the rain, especially in the tropical times. What is Malaysia just under or on the equator? So it surely probably doesn't matter to you. Mekong River. The Mekong River, man, there's some fucking massive bad firefights up that and gunboats. Have a look at the US Navy gunboats that you see up the Mekong River. They were insane. Insane. Fucking insane, bro. Oh shit, what have I done? Yeah, so, what time is it? About 20 past 20 to 1. I take it that Turpy's gone. I might leave it, lads. It's been a pretty good night. So, thanks for tuning in. And Davros, my man, I'll catch up with you at another time. I'll be going live again tomorrow, a bit earlier. Hopefully I'll hook up with the 420 mob and that. So, it's been going really well. So, if you didn't know, Davros, that, yeah, I've got to go to Davros. I've been hit up by that Luke Irvin to do a podcast, but I'm thinking about it. Anyway, anyone that's in the chat, thanks for being with us tonight, putting up with my bullshit. It's been a bit of a weird one. I've been walking around showing you shit in the house and stuff, so it's been good. So if anyone's there, all 9 of you, thanks very much. I appreciate it. And until tomorrow. Who seems cool? Anyway, brother, thanks, mate. It's been awesome. I appreciate you guys. Oh, he seems cool, Luke. Yeah, well, I wasn't too sure because I thought, from what I've watched, I thought he's a bit of a dick with his, shenanigans and some of his pranks I wasn't cool about. But everyone seems to be giving him a good rap. Everyone, like in the comments tonight, I ran a poll and everyone was like, you should do it. But I don't know. We'll see, eh? Anyway, mate, thanks for listening. Everybody, thanks there. 8 people. I appreciate you guys. Till next time. Peace.